Hashtag take the note. What is going on? Sunday morning football season, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Dun, dun. It's a great part. I like that part. It is Sunday morning, football morning. Don't have many of these left, man. Football season goes by so fast. But that's okay. We're here until it ends. And, of course, in the off-season, we talk draft. We talk off-season moves. We might talk movies and shows. Who knows? What is up? I am Jeffro. I am one of your fantastic people that will be here this morning giving you advice on your sit and starts. And if you have DFS, we got the master, Chris, over here on a monitor from Liverpool or wherever the hell he lives. I forgot. Martha's Vineyard. What's going on, Chris?
What's going on, Jeff? How's everyone doing this morning?
I'm good. I'm a little nervous. I got to do the death nut today, but I'm scared but excited, Chris. What's up, Mario?
I'm scared for you.
I don't know if Brett and Mario we got. Hold on, guys. Is Raul here? What up, Raul? We got Boy.
Oh, welcome back, Raul.
Hodge.
We've missed you, buddy.
We got Super Mario written over here. We don't know if y'all can read it, but but we think about y'all, so we try. But of course, we got to have Raul Boy on there. What's going on, guys? All right. Also, of course, with me, El Beardo, Clayton. Clayton, how you feeling, man? Clayton's been sick.
Yep, I'm back and ready to own Chris and DFS again.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I did notice that Thomas Chavaria has rejoined the contest after taking a couple of weeks off, so maybe he was just trying to give everybody else a chance.
Uh-oh.
He retired until he saw Clay winning. He's got to come back.
He's basically saying,
I've had enough of this nonsense.
I want these guys to get some false confidence, and then I'm going to come in and smash it, and I'm going to beat the father of their children.
My confidence is definitely up, so thanks, Thomas.
Yeah, pretty much.
What it do, Raul? It's good to see you again, Raul, man. Chris, I didn't know you were a Pats fan. Hashtag fly, Eagles, fly. He's over here.
Rude.
That's rude.
Gosh.
That's Super Mario.
Rude.
Do.
Thought we were friends.
He might like you. He just don't like your team. I don't know. So, we have.
Don't worry, Mario. I'll grow on you, buddy.
No, he won't.
No, he won't. Clayton beat me too because I was coughing. So we have our fantasy DFS off DraftKings. We got 30. What's up, James Sparrow? Now, Sparrow's a contender in the DFS. Give a shout out, dude. Sparrow, buddy. I know. Cup killed me in DFS and my league.
Yeah, he killed me. I was at 165, and he gave me 0.
Yes. If I saw him right now, Sparrow, I'd stab him.
Quick shout out if you guys are just now joining in. Jump in the DFS contest. Link is coming.
Thank you. I was halfway through that. I saw Sparrow.
I'm drafting now.
So we got our daily DFS. If we got 30 people last week, which we did, Pat and I will do the Death Nut Challenge. The level 5 of the Death Nut. Did you see his mic drop? That's like when him and Jennifer are intimate. No.
We don't use real names.
Oh, the warden. There, that makes up for it. So what's up, Nick? Nick Bertrall. Should I risk Damian Williams or sit him out this week? Any update? Something about a personal issue. Anybody hear about that?
Yeah, I saw you just.
Yeah, so right now he's questionable, but I believe he is expected to make the trip to Mexico City and play tomorrow night.
Whatever, don't drink the water. That's all I hear.
Or the
Montezuma's
tainted beef.
revenge. Or the tainted beef, yeah. So in any case, we got 30 people last week. And if we got 30, Pat and I are going to do level 5 of the Death Nut Challenge. This is what's in it. Pepper X peppers, Carolina Reaper peppers, Moruga Scorpion, and Carolina Reaper powder. It came out to be 13 million Scovilles, which the Carolina Reaper is 2.5 million Scoville. So that's what Pat and I are going to do here in just a moment, and then try to give y'all fantasy.
What are
football
Scovilles
advice.
anyway?
That's the level of heat that a pepper gives. That's what they. I don't know where they came with Scovilles, but like a jalapeno is like.
I've always wondered what that meant.
Like a jalapeno is like 1,500 Scoville units of heat or whatever. So I don't know, but I don't know if we're starting Brian Hill. Let's face it, he was the third string on that team, but does he show promise? What do you guys think, Chris?
Yeah, I'm personally in a couple of leagues. I am starting Brian Hill in my flex spot. I think he has RB2 potential this week, especially up against a Carolina defense that hasn't been very good this year. To be honest with you, they're very good against the pass, but against the run, they're dead last in run defense DVOA. So I think Brian Hill's a great option. He was probably the most popular waiver wire pickup this week, and I definitely think that he has flex potential, RB2 upside.
And not a bad matchup either against Carolina. So and it also comes down to, like, what else you have on your team. Like, I have teams, Brian Hill, no matter what, he's not scratching my starting lineup. So, like I said, it just depends on what you have on your team.
There's always that.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
My updated rankings right now have him as the overall RB14, right around that Marlon Mack, Austin Eckler, Devin Singletary role.
I like Devin Singletary today versus Miami, by the way.
I love Singletary today.
Just a quick mention. Jordan Howard is out today. I always tell you when we go off the air, check your injury report. It is reported that Jordan Howard is out. So DFS, maybe Miles Sanders. Maybe you got Miles Sanders in your regular lineup. That's something to check out. So Pat just shared the DraftKings link. Get on. It's free. If you win a free T-shirt. We had what's the guy's name won last week, Chris? Pat?
I forget his DraftKings handle, but he's actually a member.
It's like Big Dad 66.
Oh yeah, Big Dad 66. It's also
a member of the Patreon group over at the Fantasy Headliner. So congrats to him for taking it down last week.
At Diver Don, the guy did get confirmation this morning, or it was actually may have been yesterday, that he did get his shirt. Congratulations to Don over there. We're glad you got it. He said, funny shirt.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys. It was awesome. Appreciate the feedback. Look forward to hopefully you jumping in the mix this week, Don.
What up, Jay Browns? We got your name right here, buddy. Browns.
Did you get that other one? Oh.
Which one?
There's a lot of questions, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going back up.
Well, if we're going to do it, we need to do it.
All right, guys. We're going to do the Death Nut. Hold on.
Death Nut and then questions.
Let's get... Everyone hold off on the questions for just a few minutes.
Let's watch these two die. Don't worry, I'm CPR.
Can we film that? Should that be on live?
I am CPR first aid
certified,
so I can save lives.
I'm going to actually, Chris, I'm going to have to boot you off and work. Hold on. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I got an idea. It's going to get stupid.
I'm ready, Pat.
All right. Stand by. Jeffro.
And Jay Browns, I do want to just point out that your prediction for Kareem Hunt was actually 20 points. And we can go back to the comments to look at that. But yeah, your prediction was 20 points, and he did not hit that, unfortunately. But Kareem Hunt did have a decent game.
All right, stand by.
We're on standby. Where's Jeff?
He's coming. Chris, I'm gonna have to boot you out for a minute, buddy. We're gonna make this quick. Stand there. Your voice will be heard, but I'm gonna have to take over on the camera. Jeffro, whenever you're ready, sir.
I'd much rather see this.
Jeff, I'm ready in 3, 2, 1.
Guys, it was great to know you. It really was a pleasure. We will miss you.
Woo! Death
Clay will
Nut!
take care of your children.
You challenged us.
No, I will not.
You want a shot at the pack? Well, you are not the best, but you can be next.
We're doing this.
We're doing the Death
I'm
Nut Challenge.
fixing to hate my life.
Level 5. I'm sorry if I'm yelling in the mic.
You are.
Level 5
But it's
of the Death Nut Challenge.
All right, Jeff. Man, I am.
Look at that.
Pat, do you have your glove on?
No, I'm just gonna pop it in.
Are we gonna do a countdown? Or are we just throwing it in?
All right. I'm
Level 5, 13 million Scoville units. Are we ready to do this?
Yep.
All right, let's do it.
3, 2, 1. Let's do it.
Go.
The texture sucks already.
Oh, this really sucks.
This is great.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
I haven't even swallowed yet.
You got to chew it for like 30 seconds, right?
Yeah.
I hope everybody else is enjoying this as much as I am.
All right, let's get to the questions.
All right.
I need a minute. Hold on.
Jay Brown, that's a good question.
No. Did we get to
Lamar Miller? Or Lamar Miller?
All right.
Jackson, or I'm turning off my mic.
Hollywood Brown or Sanu? Hollywood Brown, Sanu Boyd, or Sanu or Boyd, full PPR flex spot. No, that was a lot.
Brown.
For me, I'm gonna go with Mohamed Sanu. I think this is more of a Sanu type game, going up against the Eagles secondary that has definitely been playing better as they've been getting healthier throughout the season. But they're still not a very good secondary to begin with. So I'm gonna go with Sanu in this one.
This is awesome. I agree. Actually, I loved when the Patriots acquired Sanu. I was like, hell yeah, because I have him on the league. And Dynasty, I was like, value went up. And so I'm on Sanu train. I like him.
Join our DFS. I'm not doing this crap again to get y'all joined.
Level 10 Death Nut.
It's in my saliva.
Scary Terry or Mohamed Sanu?
I'm gonna take Mohamed Sanu. He has not. Sorry, McLaurin hasn't really gotten that chemistry in the NFL with Dwayne Haskins yet.
Oh.
I know they were teammates at Ohio State, but is everything okay back there? Are you having an orgasm or are you like in pain?
I've been paid, dude.
It's the
Okay,
same.
I'm
It's
just
the
checking.
same face. Non-PPR, by the way, on the McLaurin and Mohamed Sanu
I like
question.
McLaren because he's the only target. Ow.
You just got to shout it out and get it done.
If it's standard, then I'm absolutely going with Sanu because McLaurin's not a guy that's going to get a lot of receptions. He's more of somebody who get 3 or 4 catches and maybe break a long one. But I'm still sticking with Sanu out of those two.
Yeah, I think I would. Like I said, I think I would. But I also wouldn't be surprised. Scary Terry, 1 reception, 74 yards and a touchdown. So take it how you will. The Hodge is back. Oh my gosh, he always writes paragraphs.
That was awful. I'm glad I'm done having kids, dude.
This might be the greatest day in Wolfpack history.
Oh, my God. My
All
nose.
right. Oh, this is actually a trade question. Dynasty got 2 offers for Barkley. First offer is Barkley for Cousins and a Devontae Adams. Each of these 2 will be the best I have at the position. Second offer was Barkley, Kerryon Johnson, and Mike Williams for A.J. Brown, Dante Pettis, Justin Tucker, David Montgomery, and Josh Gordon. Do either of these make sense?
No.
No, I'm going to say neither of them. And I'm sorry, Clay, did he say that it was Dynasty or Redraft?
Dynasty.
Okay, definitely not in Dynasty. I mean, right now, Saquon Barkley is a top 2 overall player in Dynasty formats. So you have to get a king's ransom in exchange for moving Barkley. It would take top players plus some future picks for me to even think about moving him right now.
Yeah, I agree. And especially the way Devontae Adams isn't even performing that well this year. And the quarterback, to me, like, is it a super flex league? Like, what's your scoring on quarterback? Because throwing him in there, that doesn't really affect the trade at all. And then the other one, you're giving up way too much and not getting anything in return, in my opinion.
The heat comes back. It goes away and comes back.
It's all right, guys. Y'all survive.
It's in my taste buds.
All right, Mario.
Yeah, what's left of them?
I don't like how Kennedy is. Every time, like, I'll flash to me while I'm talking, and I see Kennedy, I go back to him, and he's got the shit-eating grin. He's so happy.
He had the audacity to tell us he's drinking a Bloody Mary. He goes, "Ooh, it's spicy."
My dad's
Cheers,
pay.
gentlemen.
My dad's pay.
Oh, this is awesome. Greatest
No, I
day
need
ever.
tissue paper, dude.
Yeah, so Pat does not have to do the beer 40 now because he did the Death Nut Challenge.
So that works like that?
Pat, thank you for doing
Play
it
on-
with me.
And
All right. Beer 40 for me. I'd rather do a beer 40, I think, than eat a
Yes,
Death Nut.
you would. I would. In hindsight, I just figured this was a good way to pay. I'm talking. Every time I talk, it burns.
All right, Mario. All right, guys. I'm contemplating on putting Ertz against Chris's Patriots, and run a 2 tight end lineup, Waller and Ertz. I do, however, have Eckler that I can put in my flex, but I just heard Jordan Howard will be out, so I think the volume of Ertz will be there against the stingy Pats defense. On a side note, Ertz had 100 yards against the Bears. Thoughts?
Chris?
sorry, it's between Ertz and who?
Eckler.
He's saying with Jordan Howard out, does that make Ertz a better target?
He wants to run a 2 tight end lineup with Waller and Ertz.
Not. Okay, so I would say it definitely doesn't make him a better target because Jordan Howard isn't involved in the passing game really to begin with. He's never been known to be a very good receiving back. A lot of that work was going towards Miles Sanders and Darren Sproles. They did bring in Jay Ajayi, who should be active. We don't really know what his role is going to look like. And they also did re-sign Jordan Matthews. So it's interesting to see how the target distribution will work out in that aspect. For me personally, I'm actually going to go with Austin Eckler. And I say that just because he's going up against a Chiefs defense that is absolutely awful against the run. And I know Eckler is being used more in the passing game, but the Chiefs have been good against the deep ball, but they've been struggling in trying to defend those short to intermediate passes. So I could see Eckler having a much better game than Ertz. So I'm going to go with Eckler in this one.
I like Eckler. Dude.
I like the 2 tight ends. I'm a 2 tight end guy. That's how I won my championship. I go Ertz and Waller. Eckler, yeah. I know he's going against Chiefs, but I think I like Ertz. Still going to get his catches. I think he's going to do well against the Patriots, actually.
Chris remembered Browns that Hunt did not get 15 or 20, so he didn't have to do a beer 40 for you.
Well, I don't think he agreed to do it. And I think if I had lost the bet, it just would have been me doing it. So, yeah. So that was my fault on that bet and not holding him up to make sure that he did something. But no, Hunt did not score 20 fantasy points. He was fairly far from it. So I'm okay. Oh.
Guess what, Christopher? Since I'm feeling pretty well,
What?
I'm gonna have room today. I'm gonna have your beer 40 posted this evening.
Uh-oh. And you're sick, though.
No.
It's all right, guys. It's all right. I got to get her done.
You know what? I think we
You
inspired
need
him.
to get her done.
All right.
We inspired it.
If I fall down while running, just don't worry. Just I'll tell Video Man, keep recording.
Just like we talked. I was just like on the
Keep filming. Keep filming.
on the post today. I put the debts will be paid.
Yeah.
That was it. So I guess we're gonna clean them all up.
A Wolfpack member always pays his debts.
If I
Bingo.
stop either putting ice or milk, not even drinking the milk, just putting it on there, it just starts to burn again.
Hey, I heard urine works for burns, so let me know if you need some. All right,
do
Philip,
it.
with the next question. Need 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. 1 point PPR. James White, Rojo, Galladay,
Rojo!
Robert Woods, or Sammy Watkins. He needs 1 wide receiver, 1 flex, and it's full point PPR. I need me to go through the options one more time.
I like
Yeah.
Woods.
Yeah, please.
I like Woods and then James White.
And so you have James White, Rojo, Galladay, Woods, and Watkins. Yeah, Robert Woods. Sammy. So he needs 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. My wide receiver, I think, would be Kenny Galladay, and I think I would flex Watkins.
With Driscoll pants throwing to him in Detroit.
he was decent last week. Galladay was decent last week with Driscoll.
Yeah.
Rojo?
I need to turn my phone
Yeah,
down.
that's distracting us.
What say you, Chris?
So I'm personally going to go with Kenny Golladay. He's got a phenomenal matchup against Chidobe Awuzie of the Dallas Cowboys. And right now, Kenny Golladay and Robert Woods are actually two of the guys that I wrote up in my weekly wide receiver cornerback matchup report that I write every week for the fantasy headliners. And these are two guys that I really do like. I love their matchups. So I'm going to go with Golladay and Woods.
All right. Jay Browns, Devontae Parker, or Lindsey Flats PPR. It's bye weeks. That's all he has.
All right, don't chew into the microphone.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Lindsey, for me, I think he's still more involved than a Devontae Parker. I never buy into Devontae Parker.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
I'm personally going to go with I'm going to go with Devontae Parker, and that's only because the Vikings' run defense has been really good this year, and Philip Lindsay hasn't been involved as much in the passing game as Royce Freeman has been. So with Parker going up against the Bills, I know the Bills' defense has been good, but there are very few options right now in Miami. So I'm going to go with Parker over Philip Lindsay.
Damn it, I'm out of milk. In case you're joining, Pat and I did level 5 of the Death Nut to pay a debt to all the great fellow Wolfpackers out there for getting 30 on DFS.
Hashtag we took the nut.
We took the nut. That's right. Hashtag we took the nut. Join our DFS, damn it.
Cheers.
I'm not doing this again.
Hey, guys, we had somebody that won their shirt. He earned it. That's what we make you earn it. He took first place last week. Diver Don, Big Dad, 6'6", he won. Congratulations, got his shirt. It's a funny shirt. It's good to wear, but plus it's also a shirt of champions because, honestly, guys, the throne is where the championships are made.
All right.
Do that.
These nuts is what we took. Sanu or Marvin Jones? It was not greatness, Brandon Schultz. It hurt, and it still does.
I'm going to go with Sanu again on this one. I think Marvin Jones has a pretty good matchup against the Cowboys. I think that should be a pretty back and forth kind of a game, especially where the Lions are going to have to be playing from behind, I believe. But I love Sanu's matchup against this Eagles secondary, and it's not me just saying that because I'm a Patriots fan. I have him much higher in my rankings over Marvin Jones.
All right.
I heard that.
Jay Browns again. Thoughts on Debo with Sanders playing? Emmanuel Sanders came out and said even though he didn't practice, he is playing this week. Chris?
Sorry, did you say? Okay, so
Thoughts
Emmanuel Sanders
on
going to play.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sanders is playing.
So he's dealing with rib. Yeah, he's dealing with rib injuries. I don't know how effective he's actually going to be. He could just be out there as a decoy. I personally do love Deebo Samuels. You know, outside of Emmanuel Sanders, Samuels has been that next go-to option for Jimmy G, and they are going to be without George Kittle for this game as well. So look for Samuels to still see a lot of targets.
Also, I believe they'll be without Matt Breida today as well, gentlemen and ladies, if you're out there.
Yes, he is also out.
Mm-hmm. So, Chris Brotherton. This is so hard.
Good name.
Yeah, good name.
What's up, brother?
What's up, Brotherton?
What's up, brother?
I guess it's Tyrell Williams or Michael Gallup or
Marquise.
Marquise Brown. Marquise Brown was questionable, but the Texans have a crappy secondary.
I wouldn't say it.
Yeah,
It's
give
not
me
as crappy as it was.
give me Michael Gallup.
Interesting. I'm actually going with Tyrell Williams.
I'm going with Tyrell Williams, but I can't be held accountable for what I say for this whole show.
Yeah, I like Gallup. He's another guy that I wrote up in my article. He's going up against. He should be shadowed by Rashawn Melvin of the Lions. And so far this season, Melvin has given up over 500 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns, and a quarterback rating of 111. So I think that this is a great matchup for both Cooper and Michael Gallup.
Brandon, Jay, I'm glad y'all found laughter in this. But it was greatness, Brandon. Thank you.
Hey Pat, did you pin the DraftKings link to the page?
Yes,
Mario's
he did.
asking where it is.
It's in the
Oh.
comments.
It's in the
section.
comments.
Okay.
I need one
I
of you guys to
wasn't
pin
seeing
it.
Okay.
I need one of you guys to pin it.
Yeah. The burn does mean it's working,
I'll-
Jay, for sure.
I'll do that. I'll do that right now.
Thank you, Chris.
Bye weeks and injuries for Hodge. Hodge, are you a true Aussie, or are you like in like the U.S. Navy and you're there? Just curious. Bye weeks and injuries are brutal for me at running back this week. Have had to start Ty Johnson and Wendell Smallwood with McCaffrey. Yeah, you had to start Wendell Smallwood. We doing XFL? I don't know, but okay.
We should start.
I know. Oh man, if I don't have ice or something, it's still burning on me. Brandon Schultzy. David Johnson or Kenyon Drake? That's a great question, Brandon.
I guess anybody can answer it, or are we?
Chris.
That's a great question.
Great.
Back
Sorry,
to you, Dave.
I'm trying to get the link
Oh.
going here right now.
No,
One
you-
second.
I-
Sorry.
I'll take
try.
Drake because I was reading someone looking like it looks like Drake has passed Johnson on the depth chart for some reason. I don't know what's going on in Arizona, but I'm taking Drake.
Drake looks solid running the ball. He looked better than David Johnson to me.
Yep.
So I'll go Kenyon Drake, Brandon.
Oh yeah.
You can go out on video.
All right, I'm putting him in.
I'm just taking random parts of Macho Man's.
Oh, okay.
I'm just taking it and just
Hey, Jan's back. All right, Jan.
getting it in the mix.
Yeah, you got to get in your grandstanding.
Yeah, so I have no idea how to do this.
That's all right. We'll get it.
All right.
You guys take care of the show. I got it.
Yeah, Walter Rose. What's going on, Walter? Good to see you again, buddy. Hollywood Brown versus Houston or Brian Hill versus Carolina? My thoughts are Brian Hill is a third-string running back. Carolina susceptible to the run, but they still got the white boy there in the middle. I forgot his name. But I would go Hollywood versus Houston because their secondary is not great. Chris?
So I'm actually going to go. This isn't a laughing matter, guys. This is serious business.
No.
This is fantasy football. No smiling and jokes allowed.
It's mainly because we had Macho
empty,
Man.
Brett.
We had Macho Man playing in the background.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like
not
Hollywood
wanna
versus the
Slim Jim.
Texans, dude.
All right, I'm going to go with Brian Hill. Like
You're
I said,
welcome,
the Panthers
James.
are absolutely terrible against the run. Brian Hill broke numerous records when he played at Wyoming with Josh Allen. He was the focal point of that offense. It's a guy that is very talented, and he was, that number 2 back pretty much behind Devontae Freeman as far as the better running back. Ito Smith was just really involved in the passing game. Quadri Allison has not been active for most of the season, so I really like Hill's matchup today, so I'm going to go with him.
Okay, I saw that Brett, that good old Hodge, had a DFS question, Chris. I want to go to you. He wants you to rate his DFS lineup. He's got Kyle Allen at quarterback. His running backs are Zeke and Jacobs. His wide receivers are Boyd, McLaren, Sanu. That's how he got Zeke and Jacobs. He suffered at wide receiver. Hawkinson at tight end. His defense is the Jets, and his flex is Tevin Coleman. Give it at a 5.5 rating, 2.5 being average. Where do you rate that, sir?
All right, so he has a few of the same players I currently have in my lineup. I'm not going to say which ones. I don't think it's a bad lineup. If I were to give it from a 1 to a 10, I'd probably give it a 7 because there are some questionable pieces right now in that lineup. Brett, really look at the matchups and who these players are going up against, and then also, try to look at those matchups and see if what the score is going to be of the game, kind of the implied totals. I really do like to use Vegas lines a lot when I'm looking at my DFS lineups because it gives me an idea of how I can predict game scripts. I know a lot of people don't have access to that information, and that's perfectly fine. But I would give your lineup a 7. As I mentioned earlier, you have about 3 or 4 players in your lineup that I'm probably going to have in mind as well. So I like it.
So out of the 5 stars that I told Chris to rank it being 2.5 average, you're getting a 3.5. You see what I'm working with, folks?
I give it a. So from a 1 to 10, which is what Jeff said.
I said 5 stars. And I say 5 stars. Rewind it. Stop the show. Let's rewind. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, a 7 out of 10 is not bad.
Sure.
So, Good old Jan's back. Hey, Jan, how you doing? It's good to see you again. Pick 2 PPR, Chris. Galladay, McLaren, and Boyd. Pick 2, sir, PPR.
You said Galladay, McLaren, and Boyd?
Yes.
I'm going with Kenny Galladay and Scorin McLaurin.
Nice. I will go with Galladay and McLaren as well.
As
Jan,
will I.
So that's a Wolfpack, the run with the pack, Jan, right there. Hodge, Kyler Murray, or Nick Foles? That's a tough one.
We're 4 away from 30 in DK, boys.
Nice.
I just submitted my lineup.
Sorry, it was Kyler Murray and who?
Nick Foles for Brett. I had milk.
I'm gonna go with Kyler Murray. I'm gonna go with Murray here. If you look at what Murray did against the 49ers a few weeks back in their first matchup of the season, he did have a tough first half of the game, but he was playing from behind for most of the game, and they almost won that matchup. He had a really good second half, and sorry, Jeff, I just want to make sure you're okay.
I'm okay. It's still a little burn there.
I think this is going to be Nick Foles' first game back from his clavicle injury and going up against a Colts defense that has been pretty good this year. I'm a little bit interested to see how he performs and really kind of gets that chemistry back with his receivers that he hadn't really played with since the first week of the season. So I'm going to go with Murray just because of the floor.
Yeah, I like Kyler as well. He's been playing pretty decent ball.
There you go. I had Milk Hodge. I already went through it, dude. We did level 5 of the Death Nut. When this is over, you can go. We did at the beginning of the show. You can watch us. The burn has subsided, but it's still there all on this. I chewed specifically on this side because I had a tooth removed about 2 months ago over here, and I did not want that seeping in if there's like any chance of it
that would have
going
been
in.
awful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Should have done it for a viral video, yeah. But I don't want to keep that up. So our old boy, our good friend, need 2 super flats. Just chew. Good Lord, Raul, you're the man. All right, need 2 super flats, Chris and Clay and Pat. Watson, Breeze, or Lamar Jackson? Who cares? Pick 2.
Watson and
Lamar Jackson and Watson.
Yeah.
Are we thinking that game's a shootout?
Yes. I think so.
I don't blame you. What's up, Randy? How you doing, buddy?
Lamar will just, one read and then take off running like he always does.
Yeah. Points are points, though. Randy Harris, what's going on? We're going to be getting to everyone. Joel Abutin, I see you. Hey, Corey, what's going on, buddy? Also, other Wolfpackers are answering questions in chat. That's totally cool, but we'll still get to your question. But Randy Harris has a flex position help. He needs help. It's a PPR, Mike Williams or Miles Sanders. I love Miles Sanders. With Howard being out, the guy's multifaceted, catching the ball out of the backfield and running the ball. I don't think Jay Ajayi is going to cut into a lot of his play. So for me, I'm going Miles Sanders. What say you, Clayton?
Yeah, especially PPR. Like I said, in our sleeper league, PPR, I think Miles Sanders has been on my lineup every week. I think he's only not hit double digits twice. So, yeah, give me Miles Sanders.
Chris, what say you?
Yeah, so as good as the Patriots defense has been against the pass this year, they've been really susceptible to the run. And if you look at their numbers over the season, they've allowed 4 games where they've allowed over 100-yard rushing each of those 4 games. I think Miles Sanders is in a really good spot as long as he can hold on to the ball. He's had some fumbling issues this year, but out of those 2 options where Mike Williams has really struggled to find the end zone, I'm going to go with Miles Sanders because I think he can find some room to work with against this Patriots line.
For sure. I concur, Doctor.
Joe Abutin. What's going on, Joe? How you doing, man? Good to have you and Mr. Harris here. I don't recognize the names, so it's good to have y'all. All right, he's got Ertz or Jared Cook. Ertz is not...
I'm still going to go with Zach Ertz.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ertz, and I say that, again, the Patriots have been absolutely phenomenal against the pass. They are going to be without one of their top safeties, Patrick Chung, which I think bodes very well for Zach Ertz. He should see a little bit more room. He won't be. I think he should see some more targets as well. I love Jared Cook. I actually think he's a really good kind of a value pick in DFS this week, especially going up against a really bad Buccaneers secondary. But I'm going to go with Ertz again based off of volume and the fact that the Patriots are going to be without Patrick Chung.
No
Okay.
Chung over there, boy.
You like Ertz or Cook, Clay?
Ertz. Yeah, Ertz went up first.
I like Cook, but Ertz is always a start. I mean, he's just one of those guys at tight end where you're just going to start. You know, you don't argue if someone starts Ertz. You know, him, your guy, Kittle, and Kelsey. Those are just the holy trinity of tight ends.
What if you have both on the same Ertz and Kittle?
Then one is your flex and one is your tight end. Chris Brotherton, another question. Also have okay. He has Gurley, Eckler, and Fournette in right now, guys. Should he bench one for Lindsey or Miles Sanders? Not for Lindsey, I wouldn't say.
Yeah, not for Lindsey.
But would you Gurley, Eckler, Fournette? Let's say Miles Sanders. Would you put Miles Sanders in over one of them? Maybe Gurley?
Even then, I mean, maybe if you're probably going off name, you're like, well, what if this is Gurley's game?
I know, it's so hard.
It's so hard to bench Gurley, right? I think I'd keep, me personally, I think Gurley, Eckler, and Fournette would stay in, although I do love Miles Sanders, so maybe I would take Sanders out or Eckler out and put in Sanders, but those two are about even for me.
I like that.
About it. He said
it. Yeah. I'm gonna keep the 3 in that he currently has right now because, you know, yes, Sanders, as I mentioned earlier, Sanders could certainly get through the Patriots defense for a good game, but with Gurley, I mean, he's seeing about 50% of the red zone touches. I know that the Bears have been really tough against the run, giving up about 82, 83 rushing yards per game. But it's tough to go against him. He's a guy that you just plug in and hope that he performs. With Sanders, it's always very iffy. So I'm going to stick with the 3 that were already mentioned.
My phone reset, so I'm at Joe Heff. So I know there are other questions that I probably missed.
Let me see. I don't think there was really many because
Right.
Hodge said he's a true Aussie, Western Australia.
True Aussie.
Yeah.
Good day, mate. Good day.
there's
Of course
some-
you're Western. There's nothing in the East except for deadly snakes.
Oh, Joe Heff, the Kenny Galladay and
That's where I'm at. I don't know if there was
that's where
questions above him.
It was they're talking amongst themselves.
Oh, okay,
so that's
cool, man.
Yeah, that's definitely that's where we're at. So.
If we missed one of your questions, then just repost. Joe Heff. What's going on, Joe Heffer? I shouldn't call him a heifer. That's kind of rude.
Yeah,
You know. But
Can't unsay it.
yeah.
I can't unsay.
That's not nice.
Joe Heff the Great. Kenny Galladay or Cohen flex spot PPR. Montgomery's out today. That's another thing. Montgomery, I don't think is playing today. So
Either way, I'm taking Galladay.
No, I think
I take
Jeff,
Galladay.
the latest update that I
Yes,
have
sir.
on him is that the latest update that I have from Ian Rappaport is that Montgomery is going to be a game time decision.
Oh,
so
thank you. Game time
He is
decision.
questionable, and according to Matt Nagy, he quote unquote lightly rolled his ankle on Wednesday. So that's I think he's still a play. So it's something to kind of monitor before kickoff. I do believe that their game is tonight, though, so it might be a little bit tricky.
I hate that game time decision. That's worse than questionable because game time, I mean, you got to watch it, and now it's like if it's a Monday night game or a night game, you miss out on pretty much everybody you could have started.
I got lucky in sleeper last week at last minute because Kittle was out. I picked up Dwelly or whatever.
Oh yeah,
So he got me a little bit, but I was gonna take the 0. I was like, I don't care.
right.
Although I had Jared Cook on the bench, so I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
Oh, but regardless, I think we all like Kenny Galladay over Cohen. So,
Yes, for sure for me.
So Brett Hodgson
Death
again.
Nut 6 is what Hodge said.
Well, Hodge, you can shove it up your Aussie butt. Any danger of Hollywood Brown missing? That's right. Any danger of Hollywood Brown missing, or is he pretty much good to go? He was questionable. Chris, have you had any updates on Hollywood Brown? If he's playing, start him if you trust it. I hate it when a receiver or running back has like a knee issue and you're like, but go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
He got an ankle, right?
No. I was just going to say that you're absolutely right, Jeff. He is expected to play. He's questionable, but it looks like he's going to suit up.
But that also sucks. They're like, they're expected to play. Then, like 3 plays into the game, they go down.
That's what sucks.
I hate that. I'm looking at you, Emmanuel Sanders. Drake. Oh, do we already do Drake over DJ?
I know. We're getting right there right now for our good buddy. Drake. Kenyon Drake to start over DJ. We like Drake.
Yeah. Drake.
I think the Heat's kind of
Yeah,
burned
if you
down,
look
Pat.
at
Go ahead,
It's
Chris.
just kind of whatever.
if you look
Go
at
ahead.
the touches from last week. Sorry, I know you're in pain.
No, go
Sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you should be sorry. Gosh, how dare you interrupt me?
Cut his mic.
I'm gonna go with.
Pat cut you down.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna get to the question. I promise.
It's all right. I cut the.
I'm going with Kenyon Drake, and I say that because Pat. Last week I got fired up. I don't want to see that 2 weeks in a row. Not be pretty.
It's all
There
right.
might be tears.
There's a delay between the conversation, so I start talking, and you're like 2 sentences in. But all I was going to say is I cut the mic off right when you said I would go with, and then I cut it off. It was great. Perfect timing. Good producer. Pat's
So
such a good producer.
I'm going to agree with my comrades. I'm going to go with Kenyon Drake because he did outtouch David Johnson 16-6 last week. And right now in the season, he's seeing about 18 touches per game. And unfortunately, Kingsbury did say that this would be more of a running back by committee, which sucks, especially for somebody like me who took David Johnson, top 5 in a lot of redraft leagues this year. So, yay me.
Better, Chris.
Wait, when did we get a girl on the show?
We've always had Clay here.
I've always been here.
Damn it, Bernice.
Did you just assume my gender?
They discovered this female Viking. How they do that now? Like they just uncovered a Viking female warrior. I'm like, did y'all assume that gender of those bones? Wait a minute. All right.
I always assume Clay's gender.
I assume Clayton's gender as well as being female.
Big old dick.
Big old dick. B-O-D.
BDE.
Randy Harris. Is anyone feeling like Jacoby Brissett is going to come back and do really well? Randy, Brett Hodgson is a huge Colts fan from Australia. Take it for what it's worth. It's probably had too many. He's probably drank a lot of Foster's beer, and he's not. I'm just kidding.
Australian for beer.
What do you
Foster's
think?
tall boys are good.
What do you think, Chris, about Jacoby Brissett coming back and doing really well? I see you, Sister Hen. We're getting your question.
You missed Schultz.
Did I miss Schultz?
Robert Woods or Allen Robinson?
I'm sorry, Brandon Schultz. Well, we'll go back to. Let's answer this one.
Who do you want to go with first?
Let's just go with. Do we see Jacoby Brissett coming back and playing well? Hodge has answered that, but what do you guys think? Just real quick, do you think he's play? I think he could play well.
Yeah.
All right, so I think he could, but he's got a tough matchup against the Jaguars. I know they don't have Jalen Ramsey, but over their last 5 games, they haven't allowed a quarterback to throw for more than 300 yards. And in 3 of those 5 games, they haven't allowed 200 passing yards. So where Brissett is a player who doesn't typically throw for a lot of passing yards to begin with, he has to really depend on throwing touchdowns, and it's always tough to predict those. So I think Brissett is a really good option in super flex leagues where you have to, you have the option of starting 2 quarterbacks, but in just standard 1 quarterback leagues, I think that there are better options or should be better options out there on your waiver wire.
Thank you, Randy, for following us. We appreciate you, buddy.
Get in the DFS contest
Get in the DFS contest. I'm not
if you're not already.
doing any more stunts to get y'all into DFS contest. Hey, Pat, the light went off.
Take the nut.
Oh, okay. Take the nut. Already did.
Sorry, I got it.
We took the nut. I'm sorry, buddy. Brandon Schultze. Schultze, I love you. I'd never pass you up. So it's an accident. Robert Woods or Allen Robinson? Let's go to you, Chris, first. Robert Woods or Allen Robinson?
What's
This is going to be an
Doesn't
interesting
say.
one. I think that so for me, I'm going to go with Allen Robinson. I know he's going up against the Rams. Jalen Ramsey hasn't been super dominant in coverage so far this year, though. Like, he hasn't been the Jalen Ramsey of old, where he just shuts down an opposing wide receiver. And Mitch Trubisky doesn't have very many options to go to. So I think that Allen Robinson should see that, he should see that the volume. The one thing I like with Robert Woods is that where he's going to be covered by Kyle Fuller, he has that physical advantage in the red zone. It's just going to be a matter of how often will the Rams get into the red zone. So I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down Robinson on this one.
All right. I like Robert Woods. Clay?
I like Woods as well.
Okay, but just a quick shout out to for you people, in case you're wanting to see some in-depth writing. Chris Kennedy writes a wide receiver versus cornerback article. What'd you say, Chris? It's out on Fridays generally on Fantasy Headliners website.
Yeah. Yep. So it's out right now. If you go to thefantasyheadliners.com, you can not only check out my article, but a lot of other great articles that our writers put out. And my personal article is going to be a wide receiver cornerback matchup where I take my own personal rankings of top 24 wide receivers. I take the 5 best matchups and the 5 not so great matchups, and then I throw in some value plays as well for you to target. Now, if you are looking at that article, please do not take that as a stardom sit-em article. It's just an idea of players that you want to maybe prioritize over others, and then maybe use also in DFS lineups as well.
Do we Ryan's?
Oh, Ricky.
What? Ryan Sesterton?
Sorry, I just read Ricky Gerard's comment. It's
is
great.
good old Ricky here? What's up, Ricky? Ricky can't sometimes.
Clay is
sit
the
in.
only one wearing a hat that hasn't had a cheating scandal.
Not yet.
Well, Bill O'Brien is the head coach and general manager, so
And he came from Belichick, so we just haven't been caught yet.
So
Yeah.
that's yet to be seen.
Yeah.
We haven't had a cheating scandal on that hat, but there's been some shady stuff going down.
for the record, everybody steals signs in baseball.
That's all right.
That's why they have signs and don't just say throw the fastball. Yeah, they have to use signs that way they can
I
hide
like
it.
the picture. Somebody put a picture of the guy up there on the train and said, "Is a slider."
Did y'all see the sign at College Game Day in Baylor yesterday?
No.
The dude said, the sign said the Astros stole my other sign.
Love it.
Fans are undefeated.
That's awesome.
You damn right.
But we're not guilty yet.
How's it
so-
going, Justin? Good to see you, buddy.
What's up, Justin?
All right.
Jason Sester.
Hey, Gino's here also. Look, Gino. Gino. We got you right there. You probably can't read it, but we're thinking about you, guys. All right. Sesterhin, David Johnson, or Royce Freeman, PPR.
That's just yucca written all over it.
He's out of options. He understands that part.
I
He
think
is
I'm
out
at
of
All right,
options.
Jeff, what were the options?
David Johnson or Royce Freeman?
the PPR.
PPR. Thank you,
Oh.
Clay.
Look in the background right now. You can see some of your names. Thanks for visiting, folks.
I think I'm in the give me Royce Freeman. I'm in the Royce Freeman camp. Well,
Chris?
wait, against
Yeah,
Minnesota?
I'm with you, Clay. I like Royce Freeman because he's involved a little bit more in the passing game, and that's where the Vikings have really struggled so far this year. And where David Johnson's role has just decreased every single week this season, it's tough to really trust him to get a full workload, especially where he's not being used in the passing game as much as he should be because he is a really good receiving running back. But I think Royce Freeman really has the better matchup this week, so I'm going to go with Freeman.
If they're going to go with Freeman, I'm just going to go with Johnson in case he does good. And I'll say, I told you.
Right, this is the week Kingsbury gives him like 25 touches.
Right? Okay. Hodge. Is there a chance Finley? No. I'll just stop right there. As soon as I see Finley's name, stop.
I'm starting him, boys. I am.
Pat is starting him. Is there a chance Finley could put up some yards
I'm sorry.
on the Raiders?
Because I got to. But I'm
I got to.
I'm all for Finley this week.
All right. Can he do something against the Raiders, Clay and Chris,
Yes.
for Pat? and
Yes.
He's going to smash him.
I don't know about smashing him, but he can.
He can. And I will say this. Any one of us could probably put up some points against the Raiders because they're allowing over 300 passing yards per game, a touchdown rate of almost 8% this season, and a completion percentage allowed of 66%. So I think Ryan Finley has decent options on, for his offense. He doesn't have A.J. Green. He doesn't have John Ross, but Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon, who finally broke through last week and had a 100-yard rushing game.
All right.
I think that this could be a place where Ryan Finley could have some success, especially later in the game where they're probably going to be playing from behind. Right now, the Raiders are allowing 23% of big plays, which is usually 20 passing yards or more. So they're allowing 20 passing yards or more, or plays of 20 passing yards or more, on 23% of their opponent's completions. So I think that if Finley can throw the ball downfield, yeah, he should have some success. But the Raiders have an awful secondary. So, yeah, I think some average numbers should happen.
Average numbers for you, Pat, and Hodge.
Great.
That's all you need, right?
Randy Harris coming back. Also wondering about D.D. Westbrook. Wasn't he Foles' number one target, or did I make that up? Not really. Westbrook seemed to have got the touchdowns, but Chark got the volume, is what I remember. Yes and no would be my answer, which basically doesn't help you at all.
I don't know. He was. Foles loved Westbrook. He was the one he always looked for. So I hope for one of my leagues, I am hoping Westbrook gets back to that production. You know, I mean, Shark is there, but I think Foles loves him some Westbrook.
All right. Chris?
Yeah, so I'm right there. I'm right there with Clay. Westbrook and Foles had really great chemistry in the preseason, in training camp. In the first game that they did play together in the regular season, Westbrook caught 5 of 6 targets for 30 yards and a touchdown. So I think that they could go right back to that chemistry. I personally have traded Chark in a couple of the leagues that I've owned him in, just because, I think that Westbrook is going to continue that relationship with Foles for the rest of the year.
We did recognize Gino was here, Morning Wolfpack. I think I did because your name's real big behind us. Yeah. Let's see. Thank you, Mom. Love you too. Ballage or Stills non-PPR. I would still go Stills. He's kind of become the number 2 receiver. And
Fuller is out.
Is out. Even with Fuller in, still seems to become the number 2 receiver. So I don't know if you got anything to add to that, Chris.
Yeah, I'm personally going to go with Kalen Ballage, and I say that just because the Ravens secondary, they're now healthy. They're much better than they were in the beginning of the season. You know, they're not giving up those long passing plays. So for me, I'm going to go with Kalen Ballage because he is going to get the workload for Miami, and he'll have those opportunities. I don't trust anyone outside of DeAndre Hopkins going up against the Ravens secondary right now.
Yeah, but Ballage is not playing the Ravens.
No, I'm saying no. He's playing the Bills.
Well, you said but you said Ballage is going to get a lot of carries because the Ravens secondary is better. Ballage isn't on the Texans.
Sorry, I must have. Maybe I
I'm just
misspoke.
messing with you.
But no, I'm going.
You.
You remain one.
I will cut you.
I know you will. I'm sorry. I was sitting there again trying to get Clay's attention. Watch this. That's something I would normally do, actually, Chris. So that's a good point. Chris is going Ballage. Hey, if Ballage works, come back, Sparrow, and tell Chris he's the man. We don't want to. He's got a big enough head as is. But
I'm going with Stills.
you got 2 Stills and 1 Ballage. That's what I'm saying. If Chris is right, then come back, Sparrow. Say, Chris, you are God among men.
For that?
Yeah, that's a hell of a take.
Or I was just lucky.
We've really lowered the bar. I mean, I'm becoming a god.
Well, we're not back in the ancient days where, look, I killed a rhinoceros or a triceratops. Now it's fantasy football. Dude, he called Ballage. That's a god among men. Let's face it, we've got softer.
Hey guys, I've got a question for you.
Sure.
All right, so I'm looking at the actual video feed that our viewers are looking at.
Yes.
And Clay and Jeffro both have nicknames, and for me, it's just my Twitter handle.
No, that's
have I not earned a nickname yet with Dynasty Wise?
You did, but you pitched a fit about your Twitter handle not being at the bottom, so I said, okay.
Oh,
we'll do this then.
I did not pitch a fit.
You did.
That is absolutely fake news. I did not say that.
You're pitching a fit now. I'm pitching a tent. What's the point?
No, don't make me laugh.
No, I'm pitching a tent, not a fit. There's a difference.
True that.
I'm gonna have more of my drink.
Chrissy McChris Face. That's a good nickname.
No, We'll get something.
Yeah, we'll get. Yeah, well, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we-
Pat's at the controls. He'll give you a nickname.
We just need one that's appropriate for the show.
Dynasty wise does not endorse anti-homosexual
Peter had a good
comments in
one.
any way.
Oh, Chris Numbers.
No, we're not using Chrissy numbers.
We could use L. Kennedy.
We can use.
All right, we'll not focus on that. We'll focus on answering questions.
know.
And
I'm sorry.
Flex PPR, Tyrell Williams, Calvin
Calvin.
Ridley.
The rest of the show, let's find
Sammy
me a nickname.
Watkins.
Flex PPR, Tyrell Williams, Calvin Ridley, Sammy Watkins. You know what, Philip? I'm going to kill myself for saying it because I mean, I've been killing myself every week trying to hate myself because Calvin Ridley hadn't done nothing, but I'm going to go Calvin Ridley this week again. Maybe he'll do something today.
I'll take Tyrell Williams. Alex for 200.
Alex for 200. Who is Tyrell Williams? Chris, who you got? Flex PPR. Williams, Ridley, or Sammy Hammy Watkins? That's Pat likes to call him because he hurts his hammy all the time.
Yeah, I'm going with Tyrell Williams up against a horrendous Bengals secondary. I love Ridley as a player, but I don't like his matchup with Ross Cockrell this week. He's only given up 7 yards per target, and he's allowing a catch percentage of 52%. So I think it's going to be tough sledding for Calvin Ridley this week. I think it's more of a Julio Jones type week, especially with Austin Hooper out.
Wow.
So give me Tyrell Williams against the Bengals.
Okay. All right. We said hello to Gino twice now. But Gino has a question. PPR, Flex, Singletary, or Baby Shark? I like Singletary versus the Dolphins.
As do I. As do I.
You like Shark over Singletary or Singletary over Shark, Chrissy?
Christy likes DJ Chark against the Colts defense this week.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that, Hodge? Says he's going to tear you up.
What?
Hodge is a big Colts fan. Jane Sparrow says Flex. Oh, then the answer is yes. I should have looked down, Sparrow. My bad.
Get him.
What's up, Justin Miranda? I think we always said Salp. I like the way he spells sup. Salp.
All right, question. All right, I'm going to go ahead. I know we got some questions coming in, but I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys a question.
Okay, we got Ricky question, Hodge question. We're going to come to you. Dave,
go ahead,
Dave Dahl, we're going to come to you.
Go ahead and answer those real quick.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a lot. So
Okay.
Go ahead, ask your question.
Myles Garrett.
He was just trying. If you look at the video, he was just trying to put the guy's helmet back on.
So is he available? Because I'm trying to acquire him.
What is y'all's take on him?
I mean, it's pretty bad what he did, but I mean, there was a lot going on. Is that worse than Ray Rice knocking out his woman? Is that worse than?
Yeah, I think so, because he could have killed him if he would have had it turned the other way. Like, if he would hit him with the crown of the helmet, that could have been bad. Instead, he kind of hit, like, the padding, the side.
So, wait. We're all going to get mad over violence in a violent sport. Is that what we're going to do right now?
Well, I'm not mad at it. I just, like, he gone. Like, he gone probably for next season, too.
I think that's excessive.
I'm okay with violence, like the hit, but when you use it as a weapon, I mean, because that's not part of that sport. Yes, it's a violent sport, but that violence is not a part of it.
I think part of it was caught up in the emotion.
Regardless,
But, so, I mean,
he's
the
gone.
rest of the game, like sixth season, that's fine. Next year is a little excessive to me.
All right. Chris, did you have a take on it?
I agree. Yeah, I agree with Clay. I think that his suspension for the rest of the year is very much warranted. The rest of the suspensions I'm fine with. I'm actually surprised that Mason Rudolph did not get suspended, because if you go back and actually look at the video before the whole helmet, attack took place, Mason Rudolph was on the ground kicking Myles Garrett directly in the groin with his cleats, and then actually attempted to rip off Myles Garrett's helmet. Now, I'm not saying that Mason Rudolph is in it. I'm not saying there's no guilty parties here. But Mason Rudolph, I think he should have had a 1 to 2 game suspension regardless. Myles Garrett, absolutely, that suspension was deserved. I will say this about Myles Garrett: he does a lot for the Browns community. He does a lot with getting fresh water to underprivileged countries. So he's a very good person. He snapped in a certain moment. He made a terrible decision, and he's going to pay for that for the rest of the season. So I do hope going forward he can try to reestablish, a better kind of
That
relationship. But I will say that Rudolph definitely has some blame in this. So he's not completely innocent. And his post game comments was an absolute joke. And that's I'm going to leave it at that.
We'll go. All right, we roll the questions. We'll come back to that. I just wanted to broad stroke it, kind of get y'all's view on it, and then we'll get into the
I
questions.
just thought he was trying to put the guy's helmet back on. I think he ripped it off. Goes, oh crap! Here's your helmet.
My bad.
My bad. Then try to put it back on. I don't know why he's being suspended.
Jeff, he was just trying to be a good Samaritan.
That's what I'm saying. If Rudolph wouldn't have turned his head, that helmet would have gone straight back on, and everyone would have shook hands like gentlemen. So everyone would have had a good laugh and a beer at the pub later. All right, I have Dave Dahl.
Nope.
Or that. Can you? Okay, mine.
You missed Ricky.
Can you do Ricky's, please?
Yeah.
My thing started.
Right.
So
Ricky,
Elvin Yardo.
Jamison Crowder or Marquise Brown?
I like Marquise Brown has been coming up a lot today. That's the one guy. We always have one name that keeps coming up. He's going up against the Texans. I'm saying Marquise.
I'm going Jamison. Darnold loves him some Jamison Crowder, especially PPR. I'm taking Jamison Crowder. It doesn't say which one it is, but I'm taking Jamison.
Yeah, PPR Jamison's a good start too. Who you got there, Elvin Yardo?
Yeah, so a few weeks ago I probably would have said Jamison Crowder, but recently Demaryius Thomas has been involved a lot more in this offense, and I absolutely loved Marquise Brown's matchup against Jonathan Joseph. Joseph has not been playing very well this season so far, and I think Brown has the speed to really kind of, I know Jonathan Joseph is a pretty fast cornerback, but Marquise Brown is on a different level, I think.
Dude,
he ran a 4.31 40.
Yeah, 15 years ago. Jonathan Joseph is practically out there with like a walker. He needs to retire.
True that.
So then Marquise Brown is your pick.
Marquise Brown is my pick against the Texans. I'm going to go Marquise Brown versus, it could be everybody.
I don't know. I like the way Garyon Conley, I think, is going to surprise. So I'd definitely take
And Vernon Hargraves. We just got him. He's a stud.
He's like 5'8".
Yeah, but he's 5'8" of studness.
True that.
So
hell yeah, brother.
It was an accident. They didn't mean to cut him when we picked him up for they realized.
No, they cut him because lack of hustle. I was like, how is that going to work out down here when Swearinger got cut because he wouldn't play special teams or hustle?
Right.
Good luck, brother.
All right.
Hargraves has been awful this year.
Yeah.
Well, he's not. He just needs a new, as they say, he just needs a new atmosphere.
Yeah, dude. Give him a chance, Chris. You've been horrible this year.
Yeah, Chris.
Would you start Finley over Josh Allen? No, I would not.
No, I would not.
No.
Yep.
And Clay, your mom's horrible.
I would.
The Wolfpack does not endorse Finley. It's only because Pat has to start.
Listen here, Chris.
I'm starting the shit out of him.
You leave my mom
Don't
out of
listen
this,
to Pat.
and I'll leave this out of your mom.
Oh.
All right.
So, no, Allen is the start.
Yeah, Allen for
Unless
sure.
you're with Pat's corner, you have to start.
Now,
Finley.
this is
that's
some
tough.
slim pickings. Nick Boyle or Jordan Akins?
Oh.
It's got to be someone you can pick up. But I would say
He's got to be in like a 24-team league.
Yeah. You sure you can't get Russ Francis from the 80s 49ers?
I mean, even with George Kittle out, see if Ross Dwelly is on your waiver wire. He's going to be the starting tight end for this game. I mean, even like Ryan Griffin for the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to pick between the two, I'm going to go with Nick Boyle. He seems to be involved a little bit more in the passing game as of late, especially after the Patriots game. So I'll go with Boyle over Akins if I have to make a choice.
Fells?
Yeah.
Darren Fells?
Is he out there? Is
In
Darren
a lot of leagues, yeah, he is.
Is Darren Fells out there for you? Because he's an excellent, like he came in for the Texans, if I'm right, Clayton, is just kind of like a blocking tight end, but he's been a target.
He was the number one tight end with touchdown catches.
So
With 6.
I like Griffin. I'd pair what Chris said, but if Fells is out there, take him over Akins. If not, Akins isn't a bad start.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if Phelps is out there, which I'd be surprised if he was, but if he is, certainly take him.
All right, we're coming to you, Israel, and a few of you other guys.
Dave Dahl.
We're at Dave Dahl. What's going on, Dahl? Drake or DJ? This has been a popular question. This is the third time. I'm not crapping on you, Dave, but this is the third time. This is another popular question with DJ in it.
Yeah.
Drake or DJ?
I'm still Drake.
We're going Drake.
Give me that hotline bling.
Nailed it.
Drake. And
That was
Chris.
special.
Chris is going DJ. Thank you. Let's move on.
So Kingsbury has actually named the starter already for the game, and the starting running back is going to be Drake. So that's my pick.
Just a quick question. Do y'all see DJ being moved out of Arizona this offseason?
Absolutely.
Chris? I know it's not fantasy, but
So
you see him get moved.
I'm surprised he wasn't moved before the trade deadline, to be honest with you. I think that's where they could have gotten the most value for him. If they try to move in the offseason, I think they could probably get a third-round pick for him, but I wouldn't give anything higher for him at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's got to be something more that we don't know about that's going on with him, like lingering injuries or something. Something's not right.
I don't know, man.
Or he just fell off that bad, that fast. I don't know.
Israel Suarez. Hey, guys. Good morning. Good morning to you, Israel. Glad to have you. What, Chris, why don't you ask this one? Because this was a question we had at the beginning of the show. What's the deal with Damian Williams? Is he going to play in Mexico?
So his status is still a little bit up in the air. He is expected to play. Like we said earlier, it is a personal issue that he's dealing with right now, so there's no sort of an injury. He is expected to make the trip to Mexico City, though. So I personally would say, yes, he's okay to start. And he has a really good matchup, so I think he has RB2 potential this week.
You heard it here first, Sean. Come yell at
Chris. Just name Kennedy Lancer. It was JFK's code name for the Secret Service. If only Kennedy would end up like JFK.
Wow.
Jesus.
That escalated quickly.
You can go back to Brett's comment. He goes, Chris, get mad at him and go all Miles Garrett on him.
Yeah. I'm going to get worried if Chris comes down here to do a show with us live. I'm just going to punch me in my face. Just, here's your hat, Jeff.
So you know what
and
the
it's
worst
just
part is?
What?
The worst part is that not only is my last name Kennedy, but I live on Chappaquiddick. So that's, figure that out.
Does Corey get out of the car when you're going over a bridge? Or does she and then walk across it?
No, she won't allow me. She won't allow me to drive her over the bridge. Like, we've actually never gone over the bridge before. So
she's like, does Corey say
she's like,
that?
no, I'm good. I'm gonna walk.
Yeah. Dave Dahl, Ty. Okay.
I like it. I like it, Pat.
I know, buddy. I know he's saying thank you. You're welcome, Dave. Come back and join our DraftKings. Guys, we got the DraftKings. We got it pinned. It's free. If you win, you get a free T-shirt. And, again, I'm going to say it. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. Now, I always get, when I do my lineup and you hit submit, it might take you to where DraftKings saying, hey, enter this much amount, blah, 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 blah. You don't have to. Once you submit your lineup's in, all right? You don't have to add any money unless you want to. Pat's going to come and show the shirt right there.
31 entries, and it looks like, boys.
We have 31 entries right now, you guys. So we've hit the minimum. So whoever wins today is going to get that T-shirt for free.
Hey, you're welcome, Israel. We're always glad to have you. So, all right.
What's up?
He's got to go use the restroom. I know. Hodge here took a look on the wire, and his options are RSJ, Ricky Seals-Jones. Didn't they play Thursday night? I don't think you can get him. Tyler Croft, CJ Uzama, and Braun Necker.
Braun! I can't help it.
All right, so
Nick.
none of those guys are better options. So
No.
I would go with Nick Boyle of the Ravens.
Right. I think you go with Nick Boyle, the Ravens, or Akins. I would go with Akins. Because don't they have Andrews and what's his name? The other tight end. Hayden Hurst. Is Hurst injured, Chris?
Yep.
Do you know?
No, but over the last few weeks, Boyle has really been serving as their second tight end, and the Ravens have been running more two tight end sets recently, just because they don't have as much talent at the receiver position outside of Hollywood Brown. So I think that Nick Boyle, he's certainly somebody that they were going to be using the red zone a lot. So he's somebody that could be getting some red zone targets and has that touchdown upside.
Ricky, we can only hope Chris would go to a parade because we know about the history of Kennedy and parades.
I like how a lot of y'all's conversation. I was gonna say go ahead, Kennedy.
I'm very.
Do you own a
I was just
convertible?
gonna say, yeah, but only if it has a bulletproof bubble over it.
Look at me, I'm Kennedy. I got to take precautions.
Look at me, I'm like the Pope.
Yeah.
A Boyle
I'm
rules.
past 30 years old. I'm on borrowed time, gentlemen.
You are. Oh,
And how'd you make it this far as a
I
kid?
only wish you could have borrowed that magic bullet that took out the other Kennedy.
Alcohol is how I got it this far.
It either keeps you alive or it kills you. Chris drinks enough to keep him alive. So,
All right, boys, I gotta go. I'm gonna cue up
That's
the
right.
music. I'm not right now, but I'll have it queued up for you guys. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good finish out the show. Thank you to all the listeners.
Will do.
All right.
Will do.
Love you,
Pat
Pat.
is leaving.
And you.
And
You hear that? He loves me.
I know. Randy Harris, Traquan Smith, or Gin today? Well, Chris will say Gin.
We'll just
no, I'm
end it,
just
we'll,
kidding.
we'll send it
Gin.
there. Pat's leaving.
No, gin tastes like a Christmas tree. I don't like gin.
Traquan, see you later, Pat. Traquan Smith or Ted Ginn today?
Ted.
On DraftKings. Pat, are you going to drink that? Oh, okay.
I don't know.
It's on DraftKings, Chris. Traquan Smith or Ted Ginn Jr. today on DraftKings?
Neither.
So I personally would stay away from either player, but because of salary restrictions, if you're going to go with one of the two, I think Ted Ginn has the best upside out of those options. Traquan Smith is a really good second year player, but I'll go with Ginn against a Bucs secondary that has just been absolutely horrendous this year.
Bucks are good at stopping the run, but passing game, no. And then we got Brett.
Exactly. They're
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say that the Bucs are one of the best defenses against the run, so they are a complete pass funnel type of defense.
A word of warning about DFS. Chris is really good at it, and so I've gotten the DFS bug, and I made like $22. And this week, Chris, I played some Monday, Thursday games, and I'm broke.
You and I both. I also played some lineups in the Thursday night games, and I'm not going to say how much money I lost, but I didn't certainly come out on top. So here's the Sunday. Yeah.
I put in $5 initially, and I got up to like 20. I forgot what I got up to, but I actually took $10 out, put it in my bank account. It went rather quick. It was just like a day. So I was wondering, like, is this going to be one of the things where they pay you in like a week? No, DraftKings pays you probably in a day. And so then I had like $22 left, and then I played like 5 matchups, and it just, I just did horrible. So you're welcome, Randy Harris. Brett Hodgson says, Boyle rules. I love Hodge. He's like an American. So
Chris.
again, also, while everyone's using the restroom,
That's true. We
go to manscaped.com and use code Wolfpack20. You get 20% off. You don't have to buy like the $52 or $72 thing, although we got it. It's great. I just got the foot deodorant spray. It's antifungal. I love it. Because sometimes I just throw on my shoes without socks, if you're just going to make a quick run.
No, that's gross. I never do that.
I do, and some of you
You know what you need to invest in? Crocs.
Crocs.
Dude, Shane, if you ain't crocking, you ain't rocking, bro. And then watch out. I'll put in 4-wheel drive if I got to.
4-wheel drive. I did not know it had that little mechanism there. So that's pretty awesome.
If the snow comes, I'll have to put the chains on them.
Damn.
Yeah.
Clay, I'm buying Crocs. Still go to Manscaped. I'm going to use Wolfpack 20 on Crocs. Come on, it's supposed to be 20% off.
I wish I'd go get another.
But, yes, Chris has a Captain America chair. So,
we know he's not very Captain American.
no, we're hoping he's like.
What are you talking about? Oh, come on.
Nah. Any other questions?
I like your Crocs, by the way.
Did you see those?
They're pretty sweet.
Dude, he put them a 4-wheel drive and everything.
I might run the beer 40
because the video delay is
Yeah?
like a few seconds. I get to see the Crocs from Clay, so I appreciate those.
They're just
investing Gators. Gators has not shown up this morning. We do not know where Gator is. He's sleeping in. We have also not seen Fortuna. I believe Tim Sylvia stopped by though earlier.
Yeah, hold on. I'm actually texting Gator as we speak.
The former UFC fighter?
Yes, he's a fan.
Yes.
I got ESPN Plus with the Disney Plus package, and I forgot to watch the fights last night.
I don't think you missed much. I saw that.
No, it wasn't, but still.
You could have watched Bare Knuckle. Goat Bob got knocked out.
But isn't that pay-per-view?
I think.
Yeah, well, I don't have the money for pay for
Me
that.
neither.
So,
There was free fights on from Bellator on Friday.
yeah, that wasn't great though. So
Hey Brett, I appreciate the comment. I am also a big fan of my chair. I love Marvel, Captain America, anything Avengers. So, thank you.
do y'all have any sleepers today? I'm saying start Marquise Brown today. I'm a little worried that he's questionable, but the Texas secondary is just not. It's not great, and I don't think the Texans do well against a more mobile quarterback. So I'm kind of liking Hollywood.
I had a bold prediction. Hollywood does nothing.
Okay, my bold take is Mercury Brown, a.k.a. Marquise Brown, a.k.a. Hollywood Brown. His is he gets 0. Gator! First, all right, Daniel and Russell. Daniel.
Yeah, Gator.
Gator, we are going to cross-promote your show on Tuesday. Only I was listening to your show with Chris on Tuesday, and I know who Chrissy Numbers is, but I don't know who Danny is. I will not cross-promote your show unless you introduce yourself as Gator on your show. I'm just not going to do it. So, there's that, Gator. Take that.
Jeff.
Yes?
Jeff.
Yes.
You will still promote our show. You will still appreciate the work that Danny and I do.
I appreciate,
even if he doesn't refer to himself as Gator, because that is the law and that is what I say.
Excuse me. Who
Gator
took
don't play that.
Gator don't play. I can't argue with Gator don't play that. So all right, I can't argue that. So is your fantasy team
and
called
Ricky
the
is right.
Avengers?
It is. In the Dynasty League that I'm in with Ricky and a bunch of other guys, my team name is the Avengers.
Jesus.
Okay.
Just when I was starting to like Chris a little bit, he does something
I
dumb.
know. I had my hopes up when we were talking about Kennedy assassination earlier. I was starting to like that, but
And my ringtone on my phone is the Avengers theme song.
you know what's the best theme song of all is Jurassic Park, because it's so like.
I agree.
It's like we did the Death Nut Challenge. No, 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 no. You just play it. It's like, hey,
it is a really great theme song.
It's great for anything. It's like, I mowed the lawn today. No, 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 no.
Hey, Jeff.
Yes.
Jeff, you're about to make the Gator mad, apparently. So
watch
out.
He says done. He's gonna call himself Gator on the show.
All right.
So do that. Gator. Oh,
And then he said he's
Gator.
gonna make mad.
Gator versus Crocs.
You don't want this, dude.
Daniel, come down here.
I'm taking Gator.
You are underestimating my guy,
I
man.
bet-
This guy has hidden strength.
I bet you Gator wears Crocs.
I bet you he does. That's all right.
I have never seen him wear Crocs. I will say that. I've never seen him wear Crocs.
That's because he's Gator.
Hodge has a question. Super Bowl pick.
Ravens versus Vikings.
Well, he says, what's our Super Bowl pick? He's got the Ravens versus Vikings.
I'm going to go Ravens versus Vikings. So if you're wrong, Hodge, or if I'm wrong, that means you're wrong and you can't gloat.
That's a bold pick. I like it.
Yeah.
Until someone beats the Patriots, I'm going the Patriots in the AFC. And I'm liking...
Who do you like in the NFC?
Seattle.
I love Russell Wilson. I think their defense is a little faulty to go all the way. Gives up a little, but Russell Wilson's a bad, bad man, dude.
They just beat the Niners, so that's why I'm going.
They play again too, so right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll AFC. Like, unfortunately, I will pick the Patriots until they're knocking off their pedestal by the Texans one year. And NFC, I don't know. I think it's kind of wide open almost. Because Dallas is actually decent, but I don't think they'll make it. Like Seahawks, Vikings, I think it's kind of open in the NFC.
It really is because you got the Niners. I mean, you can't trust Garoppolo, but their defense is solid. But that's why I'm saying Seattle because they just beat the Niners. Aaron Rodgers can carry the Packers. Vikings look good. The Giants are looking good. I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry, what?
I know, right?
I think Tampa has a chance to make a run at the Super Bowl in the NFC.
Gators all day. Crocs are just skinny-ass Gators.
Ricky has a new team name.
Oh.
Ooh, new team name.
What is it?
It is my new team name, El Jefe Bottom Kennedy Top.
If you haven't seen the league, you probably won't get it.
Wow. Kittles is out.
I'm actually looking at our thing right now.
Yeah, we know Kittles is out. People, check when we go off the air, you're going to want to check the injury report yourself. We can only do so much. And instead of just being all egotistical and saying, we're the best, just listen to us, do what we do, we want you to check the injury report yourself. We normally get off here about 11. It's 10:27 now. We're really not getting not a lot of questions coming up, and I just screwed up my phone again. But it did go to something funny because it went to some video of two Spanish guys smacking each other, and there's nothing funnier than two guys in Mexico slapping the crap out of each other. But you're going to want to check your own injury report for that. We have mentioned that Howard is going to be out. Someone's a game-time decision, correct, Chris?
I'm sorry, for who?
Howard is out, correct? O.J. Howard is out.
Wait. No.
No,
O.J. Howard?
No, I'm sorry, not O.J. Howard. Jordan Howard.
Jordan Howard has already been declared out, correct?
Right, and then someone was a game time decision. Who was that?
That was Damian Williams, I believe.
Yeah, Damian Williams and wasn't it David Montgomery?
David Montgomery
game time decision.
Is a game time decision, which
yes,
sucks.
David Montgomery is a game time decision,
which sucks. On DFS, Chris, do you spend the extra money, and you too, Clayton? Do you spend the extra money for where'd it go? The guy in Baltimore, or
Marquise Brown, or Mark Ingram, Lamar Jackson?
Lamar Jackson. Do you spend the extra money for Lamar Jackson, or just maybe $500 cheaper is Drew Brees?
I don't know.
So right now, Drew Brees is 6,700 compared to Lamar Jackson's 7,300.
Right.
And I would not, if you're going to spend down, I would not do Drew Brees. And I say that because I'm a personal fan of not playing guys who have really bad road splits. And Drew Brees has some of the worst road splits. I know he's going up against Tampa Bay, who has a horrendous defense. But I could see this being a lower scoring game from the Saints' perspective than others think. If you are going to spend down, look at guys like Josh Allen at 6,600. Look at guys Kyle Allen of the Panthers, 5,300 against the Falcons.
I got Derek Carr. I use Derek Carr.
I think Derek Carr is also. Yeah, Derek Carr is also a really good pick at 6,100 against the Bengals. Yep. Absolutely.
Is it good to have money left over in DFS? Because this will be 2 weeks in a row.
And also, so in DFS, you guys, for anyone that's listening, please do not think that you have to spend all $50,000 of your salary. It's okay if you have a few $100s left over. I mean, if you have $1,200 or more, you may want to look to spend up at another position, but hey, have money left as long as you believe in those players that you picked. So don't feel like you have to spend the max of your salary just to make sure that you spend it all.
At first, on this week's, I had 1,700 left over, so I made an adjustment.
Yeah.
So I only have like 300 left.
I have like 3,000 left. Should I just leave it, or am I okay?
You're okay.
I haven't even set my lineup yet, so I have no idea what I'm doing at this point.
Right?
Losing to me again, Chris. That's what you'll be doing.
But it's Thomas Chavaret is back into our daily DFS. Again, Pat's got it pinned. Join our DFS. It's for free. It's off DraftKings. If you win, you get a shirt. We like to have at least 30 people. Hey, it's Telementez.
We have quite a few. We're already over
Clay,
30.
Clay, we should make a bet.
I still owe you.
Are
your
there
bet.
side bets?
I still owe one debt, Chris.
All right, we got questions.
All right, do you know one though?
What?
All right.
What kind of bet do you have in mind?
No, I'm wondering if Clay wants to make a DFS bet for today.
Is there a oh, hold on. Frank, Randy, we got a side bet going on with our DFS. Can y'all got one?
What's the bet?
Do you want to bet another beer 40 on who has the higher score this week?
I already owe a beer 40.
You
But
didn't
know
know
what?
a beer 80.
Would you like-
I'll do it for the fans. Let's do it, Chris.
all right.
Wait.
All right. So Wolfpack Nation, whoever has between Clay and I in our fantasy Wolfpack contest, whichever of the two of us has the higher score, the loser has to run a beer 40.
How about y'all have to do level 5 of the Death Nut?
I'm
No.
running a beer 40.
Okay, y'all doing a beer 40.
I'd rather do a beer 40.
Okay.
After watching y'all two die over there, I'm going to run my beer 40.
I tell you
Yeah,
what.
I would rather run 3 beer 40s than do what you guys just did.
I'll
Dude.
get a mini Heineken keg and run a beer 40 while I'm drinking out of the mini keg.
In case you missed it, Frank, Mr. Telementez, at the beginning of the show, Pat and I owned up. If we said we got 30 people for our DraftKings, our DFS, we would take level 5 of the Death Nut. We did. It's about the 10-minute mark of the show. It sucked. So, all right, Frank's question. Rest of the season, would you rather have Barkley, Jacobs, or Henry?
Give me Barkley and Jacobs.
I would say in that order, Frank, for me, Barkley, Jacobs, Henry. Chris?
I'm going to take Barkley, Jacobs, Henry in that order for me personally.
Yeah. Although, I mean, here's my thing with Henry. Like, he comes on strong late at games, but then, like, so last week against Kansas City, even the commentators at halftime, they're like, he's this big. He has 7 carries in the 7 touches in the first half. And then the second half, when they feed him the ball, he's just wearing them down. I'm sorry. Henry, if he got his 12 touches in the first half and 12 and then at least in the second half, yeah, I would rank him higher because I know he wears that defense down.
If they would use him, like you said,
Yeah.
get him at least 20 carries, that would probably open up the passing game, and you'd have a more balanced team. But who am I?
But what the way Tannehill's out there running over linebackers and stuff.
Oh, well. You know, he was a good I'm not surprised, Tannehill was a good quarterback last year. I had him on my team. He was playing really great. He just got injured a lot, and that's why his numbers look skewed. But Randy Harris is back. What's up, Randy? Randy, you keep coming around, Mr. Harris. We're going to claim you, and we're going to expect you to be here Wednesday night and Sunday. Kyle Allen or Jacoby Brissett was today. I have Jacoby starting now, but Allen is available. Do you start Allen or Brissett? Who would you go pick up Kyle Allen, I believe, or start Brissett? Allen is decent, but he's really only thrown like 2 TDs in only 1 or 2 games when you look at it.
Yeah, but he is going up against the Falcons defense that has allowed a touchdown rate of 6% right now. They're giving up about 21 adjusted fantasy points per game to opposing quarterbacks, and they do have the second to worst rated pass defense DVOA. So while Kyle Allen isn't the most talented quarterback, he has a really good matchup at home as a home favorite. He has an implied total of 28 points and only 5,300, especially on DraftKings. you can save a lot of money on DraftKings and spend up otherwise. But in season long, I would absolutely take Kyle Allen over Jacoby Brissett this week in particular.
Yeah, and Deshaun Watson said it best. Your receivers can just go out there and do whatever they want against that Atlanta secondary.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure I could go catch a touchdown pass against Atlanta.
He also mentioned the Popeye sandwich has helped cure him. I finally had the Popeye sandwich. If you're waiting in line an hour or punching people in the eye for a sandwich, you're retarded. You're literally retarded. I did not know what the big deal was. I had it. I'm like, why? Why? What? There is nothing on that. And if you say the sauce, you're even bigger. You're even a bigger idiot. Just get Clay, back me up. Just get the spicy chicken tenders. You'll be happy.
Yeah, Popeye.
Yeah.
spicy
Now I will
chicken
punch
tenders.
someone for. Hey. There's Pat. He
Whoa.
hasn't left yet. All right. Hey, what's up, Ryan Dempsey? Ryan Dempsey, we will not punish you for your logo. Everyone's got. There are more Cowboy. Let me say this. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but there are a lot more people who hate on the Cowboys than there are Cowboy fans, and they're getting just as annoying. Because when I see the Cowboys win, I like to see one person say, "All right, the Cowboys won," which is fine. But when like the Cowboys lose, there's like 80 million people on Facebook laughing, and I'm like, really, Cowboy haters is about as annoying as the worst Cowboys fan.
I think that's why they have haters, because their fans are so annoying.
But I don't see their fans really.
I do.
Okay, you do, but I don't. But
That's because
you know.
you're not in the mix. Get the hell out of here. All right,
sorry.
Mac or Fournette? Haji over here wants to know Mac or Fournette. Give me Fournette.
Fournette does just enough to warrant a start, but he doesn't do really anything. And you're right, Gator. People are getting stabbed over it. They're stupid. I had it. There's nothing great about Popeye's spicy chicken sandwich.
Yeah. I'll just go to the chicken fillet, because they also tell me it's their pleasure and have a blessed day. So
Yeah.
they're polite. Popeye's
So
over there.
I'm gonna make a bold call with that Fournette Mac pick, and I'm gonna go with Marlon Mack.
That's
I
not
think
bold.
that I think Fournette's gonna have a tough time running the ball in this game against the Colts, and I think Marlon Mack finishes the game with 100 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns, and he will score more points than Leonard Fournette.
That's a beer 40 right there when he doesn't do that.
Ooh. All right. What is this? Gator Russell letting us know N'Keal Harry will be playing today. But let's get to our Ryan Dempsey's question. David Johnson, guys, or Ballage? A little help, please. Man, I don't. Chris gave some good takes about Ballage. Why don't y'all take it while I go use the restroom?
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead, Christopher.
Oh, okay, so I'm gonna go with Kalen Ballage. I think that David Johnson and Darius Geis are kind of back to back as far as who I would take for my second option. But I'm definitely going to go with Kalen Ballage. He's going to get the bulk of the carries. There's really nobody behind him that's going to threaten his workload. I don't care about his matchup. In fantasy football, when it comes to running backs, it's all about opportunities. It's all about touches. And I think Kalen Ballage is going to get that more so than David Johnson or Darius Geis this week.
Yeah, I actually agree. I think I've been waiting on Ballage to actually. I think they traded Drake to kind of clear the way for Ballage. Also, as well, it just tells a lot about David Johnson, and we don't really know what's going on. It's Washington, right? So I'm going Ballage. I mean, he's a load, especially they get close to that goal line, dude's getting in, right?
I agree.
So yeah, you're welcome, Cowboys fan. All right, N'Keal
So
Harry.
Clay, I don't know what you see for questions right now, but I have one from Randy Harris here, and he says, do you guys believe that New England will ever actually play Damian Harris? The hype around him was unreal, and I'm not sure if he's been activated at all. So, Randy, from what I've been hearing here in New England, living in Massachusetts, Damian Harris has been questionable this week. And I think that they're probably going to save him as they get closer to a playoff run. Damian Harris has a very similar skill set to Sony Michel. He's a very hard runner. When he plants his leg, he just plants it into the ground, and he drives off of that lower body strength that he has. So I think that you will see Damian Harris at some point, but it'll be closer as you get to the playoffs.
Yeah. I love Damian Harris. I just hated the fact that he went to New England. Running back purgatory, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and as the Gator just mentioned, he's played, and if you absolutely have to play him, just not much. New England rarely rushes rookie quarterbacks into the plan. Sony Michel was sort of an outlier in that, and he absolutely was, because we took him at the end of the first round, and he was just a great fit and a great compliment to James White.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I do think that. I was just going to say, as far as like having him in a dynasty format, I have Damian Harris in one of my dynasty leagues, and I'm absolutely holding on to him because I don't quite trust Sony Michel's knees and that injury history that he's had. So I think that maybe not this year, but going forward, I do think Damian Harris is going to get an opportunity.
Yeah, I was just about to say, dynasty format, this offseason, he would be probably right around the top of my buy low candidates. Go poke around and see, I try to offer a late round draft pick, get a conversation, because someone's gonna be disappointed in him, and you can probably convince them to let go of him. So,
Are we talking about Damian Harris?
Yeah.
Did y'all mention that Sony Michel has the same knee issue that Todd Gurley has, and that might be something to play in, come here in the future.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah, we talked about that.
Oh, okay.
That's what Chris said. He doesn't trust Michel's knees, so he loves.
And aren't they both from Georgia? What's going on down there?
All right, first, you want to know what Georgia's backfield was like? They had Todd Gurley, Sony Michel, Nick Chubb.
I know, right?
So
Nick Chubb is Chubb is the most underrated, best running back out there.
Yeah, they're like, whoa, this, and he just produces every week.
No. Yes, Chris?
I love me some Chubb.
Yeah, I love Chubb.
I love Chubb.
I acquired him in our Dynasty League. I acquired Aaron Jones, and I used him to get Chubb.
Gator is saying Doxson was activated as well. He could be a factor. Who plays in place of Thielen? Treadwell, or am I thinking of someone else? Well, they might have Doxson, who just doesn't do a lot. Treadwell
doesn't do anything either. Same draft class.
He'll do something and then just disappear for 8 weeks. So if it's been 8 weeks, Treadwell might get 3 catches and a touchdown for 19 yards, and that'll be it.
Those two receivers right there got to be some of the biggest busts ever, right?
There are a lot of top receivers that have become busts. That 1 year draft in our Dynasty League, Hosler had Devontae Parker, Brashard Perryman, Kevin White, who's not even in the – Kevin White was a beast, 4.2 speed with like 6 feet, like 6'2", 215, not even in the league anymore. So, I mean, there's been a lot of busts at receiver, you know. And it's a passing league.
And it takes a couple years for a receiver. Like, even if a receiver's rookie year doesn't go all that, I give him 2, 3. Like, I've had Corey Davis 3 years, and I loathe him.
And he responded on Twitter, "Fuck your fantasy team."
Yeah.
And that's why we don't like him. Where Keenan Allen came out and said, "I'm sorry, guys, for fantasy. I'll catch you next week."
Well, Corey Davis might get fucked in the face.
That's right. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, first of all, I'm okay with NFL players saying yay to your fantasy team or nay to your fantasy team. That's not their job. Second of all, I will say that no, it is not.
Yes, it is.
There are very few sophomore wide receivers that really do break through. Some of the outliers this year, you've seen like DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton, guys who may be looking for sophomore slumps who have just absolutely exceeded expectations. It's just been touchdown regression that has really hurt them right now, where they're not finding the end zone, but they're getting the receptions, they're getting the targets. I mean, DJ Moore right now is on target for almost 100 catches and 1,200 receiving yards. It's just the problem is he hasn't found the end zone this year.
Right.
So where we're going back to the Laquan Treadwell, mention, he was a top 5 dynasty pick, draft, when they had the rookie draft picks. He was like a top 5 pick coming out of Ole Miss. He was someone who I was personally very high on, but he is supposed to be taking over that role for Adam Thielen. It'll be Stephon Diggs, Olabisi, and then Laquan Treadwell. That'll be the 3 receiver set for the Vikings.
Yeah, see, you don't even know who Olabisi is, and he's already passed Treadwell.
That's right.
Point proven. Hey, Haji brought up a good one.
Toby Gerhart. That guy
was supposed to be Christian McCaffrey before Christian McCaffrey.
If he was as good as his ego thought he was, then he would be a beast. But other than that, he didn't do nothing in the NFL. He said, "Oh,
Hey, what about Peyton Hillis, the guy who was on the Madden cover for the
Well,
Browns,
that was the curse.
who had this one phenomenal season,
The white
and then he
buffalo.
just faded off into non-existence.
He just disappeared." The Madden curse is real. I mean, you can't deny it now. Because
it's real. It's real.
Who went out this year? Oh, Antonio Brown was on it, but he's a curse anyway.
Mahomes was on it, and then
he almost, you know, he came back. Gerhardt said
Mahomes
he should be better. Gerhardt said he should be rated higher, but he went the opposite. Well, I wouldn't say opposite. He went racist. He said, if I was black, I'd be drafted higher. No, Toby, you were drafted where you probably shouldn't have been because you didn't do nothing. CMC was drafted very high, and he's white, but he's playing.
Yeah.
You know, racism.
Yeah,
look,
Toby Gerhardt is an average player, and Christian McCaffrey is just an
phenomenal
absolute animal.
Look, they're not. Look, when it's relying on billions of dollars, this is like every NFL team is $1 billion corporation. They're not going to go, I think I'm going to take that white guy because he's white. No, they want the win. They want the revenue. The only color they're seeing is green. Trust me. Gerhardt
Unless
sucked.
your head coach is Bill Belichick, then if you're a white receiver, you're not going to do as well unless you're coached by Belichick. Let's be honest.
That's true. He's like,
that's actually a true statement.
is that how tall? How tall is that white guy? 5'9"?
Unless you're Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley has done pretty well even with the Bills. So
Adam Thielen's a cracker.
If that guy's 5'10" and white, let's put him at our slot. We'll move on to Cincinnati.
Oh, you're a quarterback in college. How do you feel about playing slot receiver for the New England Patriots?
Well, we're gonna put you in the slot.
You're gonna win 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah, you're gonna win. You're just not gonna play quarterback. You're
gonna have 80 receptions a year, and you're gonna score about 6 touchdowns. You're gonna get
Panther Nation. That's all we got.
Here's a dynasty question from Ohaji. Deontay Johnson and Deshaun Hamilton. What do you think in dynasty? I like the Deontay Johnson one. Deshaun Hamilton, but he's playing well, so I think he's hard to acquire. If you already have him good, you might be able to sell high with potential.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Speaking of Deontay Johnson, go ahead, Chris.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just going to say, for me personally, I have Deontay Johnson as the overall wide receiver 57 in my dynasty wide receiver rankings. I have Deshaun Hamilton as my wide receiver 72. I really like Deontay Johnson's skill set. I drafted him in a couple of my dynasty rookie drafts this past year, and with Mason Rudolph behind center, as long as he doesn't have any sort of brain damage going on right now, which he probably did before the Myles Garrett thing. I think that Deontay Johnson has a better skill set. He's in a better opportunity than Deshaun Hamilton currently is. So I would ride Deontay Johnson. I think if you wanted to make a move for him, I think you could probably trade, I would say a low end second round, high end third round pick for him and still get him.
Earlier Chris was partially blaming Mason Rudolph, a.k.a. the victim of the assault. That's kind of like if some guy tries to steal a lady's purse and she starts fighting back, like Chris would be like, well, she shouldn't have fought for her purse and she wouldn't have got stabbed. Same thing with Mason Rudolph.
I bet you Mason Rudolph was
yeah.
Mason Rudolph looks like he was yelling, "My dad will sue you."
He does. He looks like a Chad. He looks like a
Oh
Chad.
my God, he does look like a Chad.
And I just want to punch him in his stupid face.
I know. That's why.
And I'm from Martha's Vineyard, and I'm saying that. That says a lot.
Well, Mason's a pretty bad name to begin with. Hi, I'm Mason Rudolph. Shut up, Mason.
That's my son's middle name.
Well, but it's a middle name, not a first name.
That's true.
So...
if it was up to me, he would have been a junior, but apparently that's frowned upon.
It is?
No. Clay, I'm going to put this out there right now. Levi would F up Mason Rudolph. Let's put that out there right now.
He was, Hodge. He was pretty... I mean, a lot of people are unstoppable in college. Gino Toretta was unstoppable in college. Yes, tight ends play white. White guys are generally tight ends because we're not as fast. Let's just face it. It is what it is.
That's a valid point. We're slower.
Wonder what happened to Marquetta King. Is that a women's tennis player?
No, he was the punter for Oakland. I think.
Oh,
I think he
yeah.
had some off-field stuff happen or something, right?
I don't know. He was really cocky punting, which you're kind of like, dude, you punt. Stop being cocky.
Yeah, but he was a really good punter. Like, he was a very good punter.
You're a
I will
punter.
say that.
You're a punter.
It
I don't
doesn't
care.
matter.
I don't care
the
how
New York
good
Giants
you are.
in the two. Nope. Look
I don't
at the
care
New
how
York
good you
Giants
are.
in the Super Bowl, first Super Bowl against the Patriots, and Steve Weatherford helped win that Super Bowl with all of his coffin corner punts that he had against the Patriots. Punters kind of matter.
Punters are people too. Punter, hashtag punters me too. Oh, Randy Harris coming in, or instead of Mason or Chad, it could be a Kyle. That's true.
He does look like he
Could
drinks
be
monsters and punches holes in drywall.
Yeah, Kyle. My dad
Yeah,
owns a dealership.
yeah.
You're so effed. Walter Rose, you guys
Red
got
Hot.
you guys got any
Kennedy.
you guys got any sleepers and explode this weekend? We got any sleepers this weekend, guys?
I have a few.
Can you name him for Mr. Walter Rose? Every Walter has a rose. You know that song about Poison?
All right, so
Now you do.
all right, Walter.
Has a
So I'm
rose.
going to give you one.
Yes.
I'm going to give you a value pick at each position this week, and this is based off of DraftKings pricing right now. But some guys that I really do like this week: Kyle Allen, quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. Right now, he's priced at 5,300 on DraftKings, going up against a Falcons defense that is ranked currently 31st in the league in pass defense DVOA. They've also allowed an opposing quarterback percentage of 70%, and they've allowed a touchdown rate of 6.4%. So I think I know that the Saints did pretty well against them, but I could see that the Falcons kind of coming back to life, back down to earth, and Kyle Allen having some production. At running back, I really like Damon Williams as long as he plays. He, again, is also 5,300 on DraftKings right now. And over the last 2 weeks, Williams has outtouched LaShawn McCoy 38-4 and has really taken over the role as the lead back in Kansas City. He has also been the more efficient running back at the goal line. At wide receiver, DJ Moore at 5,900. Right now, he's on pace for 96 receptions, 1,200 yards. He's been on the field for 92% of the snaps, and he's seeing about a 24% target share. I really like his matchup against Isaiah Oliver, who so far this season has allowed over 500 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns, and a catch rate of 72%. Finally, at tight end, I like Jared Cook of the New Orleans Saints. He scored a touchdown in 2 of his last 3 games, and he finally looks to be healthy after dealing with an ankle injury over the last couple of weeks. He's only seeing about 5 targets per game, which isn't great, but he might not need that many targets to hit value in this slate because the Buccaneers are allowing about 77 receiving yards per game to opposing tight ends and almost 19 fantasy points per game, along with 6 total touchdowns. So those are my 4 value plays this week, and hopefully those will allow you to spend up at other positions when you're starting to build your lineups today.
If you go with those picks, you will not be beating me this week.
Depending on what Walter Rose was asking, DFS or just fantasy sleepers, that's good takes by Chris. I kind of like, if you got him, Tevin Coleman, because Breed is out. Miles Sanders, because Jordan Howard's out. If you really want to take a shot at trusting Hill there in Atlanta, go for it. I mean, he was the 3rd string running back, but he might be hungry. He might be, look, I'm 3rd string. I just got to get a chance to show, because there are guys that look awesome in practice and they suck. This guy might be a guy who sucks in practice, but when he gets out there in the field, he plays. Yeah. So you can take a shot at that. But Chris just gave you awesome DFS picks as far as fantasy goes. Tevin Coleman, and because Breida's out, and Miles Sanders because Howard is out.
Yeah. And I know people are always looking for tight ends, so I would definitely look at Ross Dwelly because that's Shanahan's system. The tight end's going to be used.
He does, yeah. Who's the tight end now, Chris, in Seattle? I believe they have a bye week this week, though. But who is it Hollister? Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, it's a guy named Jacob Hollister is their currently starting tight end, who I don't think he's quite low end tight end 1 for the rest of the season, but he does have high upside tight end 2 potential going for the rest of the year.
So there you go, Rose. Hope that helped you DFS wise and general fantasy wise. Especially if you pick a DFS. Chris gave you a lot of good names.
Yeah, Derek Carr would be a good play this week as well.
Yeah, Derek Carr can be a good play. Like I say, Kyle Allen's low. Some people are talking Jeff Driscoll this week at DFS. Chris, hey, I don't know what the price is of him, but I mean, whatever.
$200.
Yeah, $200.
Jeff Driscoll is a measly 4,600 this week against Dallas.
That's a no-go for me, dog.
That's a no-go, dog. I can't, that's a no. So, Jay Browns is back. Do you think Eckler for Edelman is a fair trade, or is Carson for Edelman more fair? So which one do y'all think is the better trade, Eckler for Edelman or Carson for Edelman? That's tough because I would go Carson. He seems to have cooled down. Like, he was kicking butt at the beginning of the season, but he does nothing now. Where Eckler is almost like Edelman, Chris, I would think, because he lines up in the slot a lot now with what's-his-name back at the other running back position. But what are your thoughts, Chris? Eckler for Edelman, is it fair, or is Carson for Edelman more fair?
No, I wouldn't move Edelman for either of those guys right now. Melvin Gordon has been involved much more in the running game since they changed offensive coordinators. And also, when you look at quarterback, I mean, unless you're trading for a top 2, top 3 quarterback, they don't hold as much value because you can only start one of them. So I'm personally going to stick with Edelman out of both of those guys right now.
He needs a running back. I need a wide receiver. So he wants to trade one of these running backs for Edelman. Hey, Carly, what's going on?
Okay, so I would absolutely trade Eckler in exchange for Julian Edelman. I think that's great value. Yes.
It depends on your league, because Browns, if you got a PPR league, I would keep Eckler over him. What do you say, Clay?
Yeah, I think I would trade Eckler because I think that way you can still keep Carson, and he's more he's more prominent role over there with Gordon coming back in L.A. So yeah, I'll try to move Eckler for Edelman if that's what you want to do.
All right, there you go, Jay Browns. Thank you, Gator. It's Hollister and Luke Wilson are the tight ends in Seattle. You're welcome, Walter. Hey, Carly. Randy Harris has said he actually traded. Hold on. He actually traded Carson for Bell based on schedule alone. In the offseason, guys, we'll probably be doing live shows again, but we're talking like we're just going to be talking drafting and strategy going into the next year. We mock drafts, everything like that. And that is something, and I'm glad, Randy, you brought it up because, now that Chris isn't here, first off, he wouldn't trade Edelman because, let's face it, he's a Patriots homer.
That's true.
So, take whatever he...
y'all can't see it on his screen, but he has a big Edelman fat head on his wall.
Yeah.
For some reason, Edelman's not really wearing clothes. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
And he puts it in his pants. We don't know what's going on there.
A grown man's room, but that's what it is.
I love it when people leave.
Yeah. He's going to come back and be like, what the hell happened?
He's going to be listed to in the car. One of the things is, based on schedule, you got to look at the schedule. I mean, there's so many factors when it comes to fantasy football. One, your gut instinct. You just got to trust yourself. Two, schedule. It's like, man, look, they're playing. The Buccaneers can stop the run, but they can't stop the pass, so I want to play a receiver there. But anyway, Chris is a great guy, so, don't worry about everything else. You should never leave that chair, Chris. You are in love with Edelman. You are having an affair with Edelman.
That he is. We can't hear you, Chris.
Did you cut off your mic, Chris?
There she is.
Nope. How about
there
now?
you are, buddy.
There she is.
Jeff, what are you? And this also go to Clayton because he's a big fan. Randy Harris saying Edelman greater than Eckler, hands down. I disagree because Eckler can get you PPR league. I think they're even with Edelman taking more of that, but Eckler can also get some runs and the pass catching ability. But that's close. Jeff,
the only problem I have with Eckler recently is since they changed offensive coordinators is that Eckler hasn't been involved in the number of snaps as he has been in the past, before they changed that. Last couple of weeks, he's only been involved 34 and 45% of the snaps, where before that, he was in at least 60%. So that's my biggest concern with Eckler is just the number of snaps that he's actually on the field for.
There you go. Chris coming in with the take stat. That's why we love him, because he's going to have. We don't love him for anything else, you know. No, but no, Chris is awesome.
I'm good for a couple of things, okay?
He's good for a couple of things, and then, we're good.
Some things we can't say on air.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the Texans kicker? We can go to Clayton for this. He needs to either cut him or Dan Bailey. Are they playing here this week?
I don't remember.
If they're playing here, keep Fairbairn. I like to draft kickers on somewhat average teams because they're just good enough to get across the 50-yard line, but not good enough to score, and you get a kicker. This Baltimore Texans game looks like it could be a shootout, and you never know what the Texans coach is going to do or screw up on a play call. So I'm thinking keeping the Texans kicker, Fairbairn.
Yeah, I would, because we're going to kick field goals. You don't need two kickers anyway. You can always pick up another one.
Randy Harris coming in with a great take. You are correct. Rashad Penny is starting to ease into Carson's play, and he was a first-round draft pick. It's going to be – this is another thing we'll talk in the offseason. Maybe we'll talk about Rashad Penny, maybe get more playing time this offseason for next season. Who isn't in love with Jules? We love Jules, and we love Jules Jefferson. And only certain people know who Jules Jefferson is. Edelman does.
But we love him.
Yes, we love Jules Jefferson. He's been on. We need to get him on. Brett Hodgson is saying about as safe as play as a QB sneak with Mahomes. Well, that's not smart.
Yeah. So I have a take on that kick question.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, and this is just me, because I do rank kickers and team defenses with my weekly rankings. I have Dan Bailey ranked much, much higher than Fairbairn over of the Texans. So I personally would go with Dan Bailey, but that's just me. And then back to that Rashad Penny comment.
Yes, sir.
Chris Carson's the absolute guy in Seattle right now. I mean, over the last 2 weeks, Rashad Penny has seen 6 total touches. 6. And Chris Carson has seen about 46 total touches. So if anyone's considering starting Rashad Penny, don't do it. I mean, you're not going to get – I mean, Rashad Penny has seen about 5 touches per game compared to Chris Carson's like 23, 24. Chris Carson is seeing the ball as much as like a Leonard Fournette or a Christian McCaffrey. He's getting the workload, and he seems to have found a remedy for his fumbling issues. So
damn it, Harris.
That's what I have to say.
Damn it, Randy Harris. I was giving you props, and Chris came in and screwed it all up. You are not getting on the board, Mr. Harris. What Chris take on me trading my Carson for Bell? He wants to know. He traded Carson for Bell. I did it week 9. Carson has a super stuffed schedule. Oh, here comes Tim, Sylvia, and Fortuna. Fortuna, check it out if you can see it. Fortuna. Right there, buddy. We're writing people's names. But what do you think? What do you think of his trade? He traded a Carson for Bell. He did it week 9. Carson has a super tough schedule. Or you're talking about trading Carson for Bell?
He already did it.
So Rand.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah,
he posted.
it sounds like he already made the trade.
Well, he replied in again saying, "But I'm talking about trading Carson for Bell."
Okay, so I would say don't do it. And I say that because Bell has been dealing with some injuries lately, especially with his knee. I know that he's getting the bulk of the workload right now with the Jets, but the Seahawks are going to give Carson more scoring opportunities. And where they aren't featuring any other running back at this point other than Carson, I honestly would hold on to Carson. Don't try to reach for Bell. I know Bell has an easier playoff schedule as far as fantasy is concerned. But I'm going to go with the better player here right now this season, which has been Chris Carson, because he has played much better than Le'Veon Bell has.
There you go, Randy. He's already done it. Yes. Well, Chris says.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, but you never know.
See if you can get a trade back and get him.
Yeah, just Randy. Just go. Fooled you. I was kidding. Let's trade back. Let's make the trade back. I was just kidding. Come on. All right, Mr. Tim Sylvia, former UFC heavyweight champion, is here with Fortuna. Is AK-47 going to score 20 points or more today in PPR? Good Lord, I hope not. We don't need another shooting.
Sorry, who's AK-47 in
Tim,
football?
you tripped. You totally got us. Who is
Alvin Kamara.
Tim, I need to
Alvin?
clarify that.
41, right?
Yeah, he's number 41, Sylvia. That's because you got hit in the head. That last fight versus Fedor, which I think was your last fight, he really donged you. So, AK-41.
So Tim is in the Army, so he probably just got his numbers mixed up a
How do
little
you know
bit and
Tim
whatnot,
is?
but
How do you know Tim Sylvia's in the Army?
because Tim Sylvia is a good friend of mine that I grew up with here on Martha's Vineyard.
You have friends?
I have multiple friends. Some of them you can see, some of them you can't, but I have friends.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Well, if it's Kamara, I hope he does get the 20 because I could use him.
He could. This is another game that could be a shootout. Right now, they'll probably pass the game, but the guy can, Alvin Kamara is definitely. I'm driving. No, Montgomery is not playing today, Joseph Fortuna, or he is a game time decision. Game time decision. I think it's possible. Alvin Kamara is another one of those guys that just you don't put him in, he's going to score 30 points. If you don't put him in, he's scoring 30. If you do put him in, he's going to score 10. So you might as well just.
You absolutely start Kamara. Kamara is a top 5 fantasy running back right now. Yes, he has a bad matchup against a really, really great Buccaneers run defense right now, who's only allowing 60 rushing yards per game and 28 receiving yards per game to opposing running backs. And they're also only allowing about 12 fantasy points per game to opposing running backs. But Kamara is a different beast. He's going to be involved in both the running and the passing game. So you start him no matter what.
There you go. We just got a little trash talking between the services. Randy Harris comments, Army aren't real Marines yet. United States Marine Corps 2004 to 2012. Hoorah.
Don't they?
I don't care. Anyone that gives their service to this country, I am forever grateful for you. So I don't care what rank you are or what division of the military you are in. Thank you very much to everyone and everyone.
Except for the Navy. We can all agree on that. Because that guy on the aircraft carrier that does this,
but
like pointing direction to planes.
Aren't the Marines the Navy's little brother?
Oh, they're their transportation. They're their Uber driver of the Marines.
Isn't their logo based off the Navy?
Ouch.
Is your logo based off the Navy, Randy Harris? Oh boy. Like I say,
I don't care because all I have to say, America.
America. Fortuna.
America.
That's a tough one to answer, buddy, because he's game time decision. I believe he's playing at night, man, and that just sucks. Because then you only have if he doesn't go tonight, then you pretty much only have the Monday night game to start anyone. I would say before, look, guys, I don't know what time it is. I think it's getting close time to it's about time for us to wrap it up.
We're about 12:10 Eastern time.
So what I'm going to say is before the game starts, Fortuna, just look at your team and look at who else you got, because it's so hard to tell you to trust that Montgomery's going to play. I would just hate to tell you, buddy. I just hate to say, start him, then he doesn't. If you ain't airborne, you ain't shit. Whoa. There you go, Tim.
That was good.
My dad, who I really don't know well, was 82nd Airborne, and then he was a Green Beret, apparently.
It's called badass.
Jeff, I'm right over here.
Oh, hi, Dad. So, all right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. I want to thank everyone for coming. If you didn't see it, Fortuna, when the show ends, you can go back about 10 minutes in. Pat and I took level 5 of the Death Nut Challenge. It was not fun, but thank you guys for being part of our DFS. Thank you guys for showing up Wednesday nights, 8 to 10 Central Time, and thank you for always showing up Sunday morning. It's not because of us. It's because of you that we're seeing a lot of trending coming here. People saying, wow, the Wolfpack gets a lot of people and they give great advice. So we want to thank you for spreading the message. You're part, you know what? You guys are part of the Wolfpack too. It's not just us. Join our DraftKings. It's free. After you put your lineup in, it might send you to a page to enter money. You don't have to because it's free. That's up to you. Cool, Randy. Like I say, Wednesday night, 8 to 10 USA Central Time. We kind of screw around more Wednesday night. It might not be 8 to 10. It might be 8 to 9. Just depends on how we feel. Also, are we still doing Manscaped, Chris?
Sure.
Yes. So for anyone who actually, while we have a couple of minutes, I'd love to talk about Manscaped if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. So support for the Fantasy Wolfpack comes from Manscaped, who is #1 in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. That's why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. Their Lawnmower 2.0 has proprietary skin-safe technology, so this trimmer won't nick or sag your nuts.
Oh.
Manscaping accidents are finally a thing of the past. And don't use the same trimmer on your face that you would on your balls.
I did.
That's just gross. Manscaped has also designed the Crop Preserver, an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. You already put deodorant on your armpits. Why not? Why wouldn't you put deodorant on the smelliest part of your body? So go to manscaped.com and get 20% off plus free shipping with the code WOLFPACK20. Always use the right tools for the job. Trust me, your balls are going to thank you. So go to manscaped.com, get 20% off of your entire purchase and free shipping using promo code WOLFPACK20. That's manscaped.com using promo code WOLFPACK20. Your balls will thank you.
And we will thank you. And by the way, I'm going to create products, and my name of my company will be Analyze. Like Analyze, and it's for your butthole.
And on that note,
Hold on.
Why? Why?
Because it is the smelliest part of your body, and when, you clean your butthole. What's up, Vinny Schultz? Haven't you been here all day? I thought I
right.
saw you earlier, Vince.
I'm hitting stop.
Pat Clayton said stop. Don't.
It's been real.
It's
Gotta
been
go.
real.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
See you next week.
We'll put some names on some boards next week.